Order in the court.
All right, I'm going to reconvene the meeting for July 8, 2026. Everybody will be having lunch during the meeting, but first up will be probation. Nick Lehman, the general fund.
Good afternoon.
Before they start, just to let everybody know, Jim and I both did talk with probation at length, going through their budget. So if you have questions, there are things that Jim and I already kind of analyzed that, no surprises.
And I met with them.
You did too?
Yeah, I
Okay,
met with them
no
before.
surprises, so.
Yeah, and basically what they're asking for is 3% for everyone. And then there are 4 people they want to increase above a 3% raise. And then they're eliminating 1 position.
I'm okay with that.
Yes, they were, at the low 40,000s in most cases. They really weren't on par. I know Jim reached out to Robin to look at it at one point. So yeah, we did feel like the employees that they were trying to give more than 3% were definitely below most county employees.
One of them was the office manager, and last year we were wanting to, she moved to a new position, the office manager. And we wanted to give her more money for that position, but I don't know. I didn't quite understand it. Josh said the categories weren't right or something, but we had updated them. So anyway, so we kind of told them that we would do it probably this year, hopefully, because, it's a promotion.
Yeah.
She's the manager now, and that's a lot of responsibility.
So
They also canceled the Progress House contract, which
Yes,
saves 27
yes.
grand.
So I would propose that we accept the probation department's general fund budget as written, with the exception of the probation officer line item, which would be -1 at $65,821, which would make that line item 843,086.
843,086.
What's the fund number or the account number? Which line?
1,001-12,003.
The probation officer line item, they
12,003.
They did ask that if their clientele grows, that we be considerate in giving back that position that they're willing to give up in the future, but that they can make do based on current workload.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I have a motion on the table by Mr. Jim Shelby. Do I have a second on his motion?
Okay.
Okay, that was Robin, right?
Yes,
Okay.
with her mouth full.
Shoot, mouthful, it's hard there. All right, I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1001 with the change of probation officer line item, dropping it from $908,907 to $843,086. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Who was the no?
There was no no, it's
Oh,
Kent's not
Kent's
here.
missing.
Oh, sorry.
Next fund, 1220.
Another.
Is this supposed to be 1220 or 1200?
Oh, I think it is.
Mr. President?
It is 1,200.
All right, my apologies. Go ahead, Mr. Shelby.
Another thing that we discussed with them was that for the last 2 years, we have, their fees have not kept up with the expenses in several of these accounts. And we put in food and beverage, $250,000 that they have been drawing on. And we were thinking maybe we needed, if that was going to be a permanent situation, to fold that into the general fund. But there have been some changes that may increase their fees. So we are thinking we ought to go ahead and do the same thing to see if the changes will change for the better the fees that they get.
To be clear even on that, because Deb's shaking her head, the fees don't begin to cover it, but we have a lot of
Hold on a second.
We're looking
I
at the
apologize.
wrong budget.
We're looking at the wrong stuff here.
1,200 should, it's in your, I think it got in there.
Something's in the wrong
That goes
place.
to public defender, that's not their budget, so. you're
Oh, that's not supposed to,
$2050.
Yeah, 2050
Where's
is the correct
12,
one.
1220, the county offender transportation?
I'm gonna have to print it off. We don't know what.
That was in our budget,
This is what they're looking
the 20 offender transportation. We don't have anything to do with that, and so that's why I zeroed that account.
Okay.
You didn't submit a
What I
budget
was
to us
talking-
for that one.
I did, that was in our previous budget, and we had allocated $5,000 in there in previous years, and so I just zeroed that. We don't have any need for that.
And what I was explaining has to do with the food and beverage fund when we get to it, not one of these funds.
Yeah, just in general, because Jim and I, well, I'll speak for myself, I'd kind of forgotten when we went through their budget that when Josh was here and they kept falling short, we put a line item in food and beverage to cover the shortages. And Jim and I had talked about, that's not going away. We need to get that in the general fund where it belongs. But they now have a service where, basically people's tax returns will be, if they have unpaid probation fees, the government will take that from their tax returns, like a child support payment or anything else. And so that should raise some of the collections on unpaid fees. And so Jim suggested we leave a food and beverage line item this year to see how that nets out. But really next year, we need to get out of food and beverage and into the general fund or their user fees or wherever it can fit, the real cost of probation.
Well, I remember that one of the reasons that we did all of that was because Greg said that we probably need, rather than fund it, and he may have changed things by now, but rather than fund it, we need to put the pressure on the state. So that's why we put it in food and beverage. Because to put pressure on the state, because it's
You have to
not,
show.
the fund isn't even close to being sustainable.
Okay. But that's for when we get to food and beverage.
Yeah, right, because that's not in that budget.
Right.
transparency. We are in the process of attaining a program, it's a state program, it's called TREX. It's a tax interception program where we can intercept state taxes. We began that process yesterday with the commissioners and we're working with the treasurer and the auditor to work on that, but we haven't attained it yet. I feel like we will. I think we'll be successful and get that for the next tax year. I just wanted to be transparent.
Good.
So public defender does not belong in there, right?
Correct.
No, for some reason it's duplicated. It is in public defender's budget, so you.
Oh, it is, so we don't need to worry about the section.
You don't even need to
Thank
worry
you,
about it.
Mary.
So then it's 2050.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve Fund 2050 as presented.
Second.
Gotta give us a time delay for chewing.
You're fine.
I have a motion and a second on the table to approve 2050 juvenile probation. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have to do anything for the county offender transportation? Do we have to, even though it's a zero?
Because they
Okay.
had zero budget.
All right, that's not a problem. All right, next up is 2100 according to the agenda.
This kind of reflects those first two line items, the excess increase that, of course, everybody gets a vote on, but Jim and I were both agreeable to them putting in for those excess raises on their lowest paid employees and thought it seemed fair.
I also have some paperwork as far as hourly rates across the county and that type of stuff, if you'd like to see that.
If anyone has concerns with it, they did put together plenty of justification material that they sent to Jim for that. If there's no discussion, I would make a motion to approve Fund 2100 as presented.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 2100. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next fund is 2101, which is 88 drug screen probation. It dropped significantly.
I
So,
move we approve
this is
Fund
oh, I'm sorry.
2101 as written.
Anytime you drop it, everybody's gonna have a question. I have a motion.
We
Is
take
there a
it.
second?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 2101. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign, motion carries. Fund 2500 as probation user fees.
Jim and I did talk about this as well. As you can see, there's a line item for 250,000. The actual spend last year was 112,000, so we asked about that. And essentially, this fund, whatever we do get in user fees, they will spend it from here. But we don't get anywhere close to what we need in user fees. So we just kind of pre-authorize up to 250 in that line item, even though they don't get that much money to spend on a regular basis, and it ends up coming out elsewhere. Is that a fair explanation of that?
Yes.
Nobody has any questions on that. I would make a motion to approve 2,500 as presented.
I second it.
Tried to take a bite while Keith was talking. All right, we have
You
a,
thought I'd be longer-winded.
yeah, I did. We have a motion and a second to approve Fund 2500. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, Fund 2504. It's-
I move we approve Fund 2504 as written.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve Fund 2504. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion carries. Fund 2506, substance abuse.
I move we approve Fund 2506 as
Second.
written.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 2506. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion carries. And the last fund, 9125. So where was this last year? Oh, it says odd years. Never mind.
Yeah, it's the odd years.
So you have to do it every odd year, okay.
I move we approve Fund 9125.
So that we lost that grant. We just found out about that about a week ago. We had 2 open positions. We pivoted that person into the open position, so it'll be a net wash.
Okay.
It
So
might-
will there be any revenue? There'll be no revenue.
No, I think maybe not quite a net wash, maybe about $3,000, but I can move that money a little bit. So now we would be fully staffed.
Wait, I think I'm losing track. So in Fund 9125, probation IDOC odd years is a grant.
Right,
That's the grant you didn't get.
correct.
And so there will be no expenditure?
No, so we had 3 open positions.
Yeah.
We eliminated one, we hired one, and then we transferred this position into that open position.
Oh,
So all these, but everything on this budget is still correct?
which one?
So we'll
Okay,
be
so you took the
financing
other
that whole
Primarily,
thing
yes.
if we do it.
There's no cash to support it though?
Of
Because
the
there was no
first one.
grant?
As the first one.
So the grant was canceled, but we had an open position in the probation officer category, and so we just moved it to that open position. She is a
To a
probation.
different fund?
Yes.
Oh, right, we talked about
It'd
that
be
on
the
the
county
phone.
general.
Okay, that was the one that she is a real person, it's not an open position.
Right.
You're gonna absorb one of your open positions.
Right,
And the
right.
other fund we approve first, and
Yeah.
this just goes away. So technically, it's zero.
Yeah.
For the auditor's office, for the record, do you want any motion at all on this fund, or do we just not vote on this fund?
Could you just make a motion
make
that
it zero.
everyone's agreeable that we're gonna zero that out, so it doesn't look like we did something?
All right, before we do that, I had a motion on the table. Do we have a second on the previous motion? Right, it dies.
Let
All
it
right, go
die.
ahead.
Okay. I'll make a new motion for Fund 9125, for a $0 2027 budget.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second on Fund 9125 to
Yeah,
make it a
Keely
zero
would put
budget.
the 60 out of that first one.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign, motion carries 7-0.
Clark, you gotta be quick if you wanna get these zeros.
I don't want to take that pleasure from you.
Anything else, guys?
I think the only other thing would be the detention money, which is in, should I have that pulled up here?
Oh, was it in the
CCD?
commissioners?
Oh.
Commissioners County General Budget, which was approved.
That's what I thought,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, I just didn't know if I needed to.
We can
address
double
that.
check that amount with you. We did approve the commissioner's budget with,
approved for 310,000.
Okay, that's perfect.
That was your expectation, right?
Yep.
310, all right.
Just wanted to say, these two have really stepped up, done a great job.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, you're stepping out.
Is she staying interim for a while?
She's interim for a while. We decided that with some changes in the judiciary, that the decision regarding the permanent chief should be made by the newly elected judges and the existing judges. So we've offered to, we'll assist in interviewing if they want us to, but no voting. Votes will be made on who's the new judges. So they're the ones that will be working.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I would
Thank you,
piggyback on that. We probably asked as much of them as anybody, Jim and I, about, your state mandated salaries and where do you fall and everything we asked for. They quickly produced spreadsheets. This is their first budget cycle, obviously, since Josh has been gone, and they were just super responsive and willing to put together data for us. So, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
And it makes it easy to work with them because Nick wears a gun.
Yeah, Jim's scared of Nick.
Told me to
so-
wear it too.
I promise I'll never use it.
I'm guessing the next one I'll get to eat quite a bit. So next up is Prosecutor, Brent Eaton.
Yeah, you can kick back and
I'm just gonna start chewing.
Prosecutor. May make you lose your appetite.
That's all right.
Yeah, we'll be good till we get the sheriff.
okay.
How can I help you?
Let's talk. Brent,
Well, I talked to Jim. Now I
Who's
took
eating?
the bite. Jim and I had suggested from the beginning of budgets that we did not want to put any more new positions in the county general. They don't know if they can be absorbed elsewhere, but I'm sure everybody has their own opinions on new positions, as has been mentioned previously today, so we should probably just start with that. That's probably the biggest question about new positions.
there are two new positions that you listed.
Yes.
Two, okay.
It's an assistant prosecutor and a,
Juvenile.
Juvenile
or
deputy
juvenile.
prosecutor.
Okay.
Juvenile.
And we're not gonna and we're not getting a juvenile magistrate now, as we've been told by the
Right.
judges. So does that change your request or how you answer your request? Does that change? Because I think before that was part of a concern that when we sat down.
Well, they were
with
going to
this-
have another judicial officer, well, then, yeah. But I mean, as far as what we have on our side, referring back, because we've had a lot of conversations over the last few months about this stuff. And so I appreciate the patience you showed me during that period of time. I mean, a lot of the same things still apply. I mean, and the bottom line is that the system, we have our felony prosecutors absorbing this work. There's not a consistent point of contact. I mean, and as a result, when you have different people jumping in and out, you don't have somebody dedicated to a case from screening all the way through disposition. And I think it makes it more difficult for law enforcement, for this office, and for everybody to do an effective job on these cases, which are becoming increasingly problematic with the passage of time. If I could, I know that, I think all of you did receive letters of support for these positions from our partners in law enforcement around the county. I really appreciate all of the agencies and their generosity in lending support to what our proposal was. I know previously the probation, who does a lot of the work with juvenile probation for these kind of cases, had expressed their support of our proposal. I mean, and if necessary, I know that the Republican nominee for sheriff and the current sheriff are both here and also supportive of our proposal, and I'm sure they'd be happy to say a few words if you would allow them to do so.
Well, I think the problem isn't probably whether or not people think it sounds like a good idea. The problem is just the funding of it. And so, we've been talking all day about the sustainability of things. And with the tax changes coming, we came into the day needing to cut $800,000 out of general fund. And I think we've added money actually to this budget throughout the day. We haven't cut anything. So I don't think it's a matter of.
54,000 just a minute
We've
ago.
cut 108,000.
From general fund?
But that counts like the 54 that we took out of that other
Plus
budget.
the probation officer, so that'd be like 165,000.
So if we cut his 700,000, we're break even.
Well, I don't think Brent got an increase this year.
I don't think.
You know, we could, but I don't think people would like to live here very long if that's what happened.
Another concern, and my biggest concern, honestly, for me is, one thing I've learned the previous years I've sat here, is when we add police officers, and we think we're just adding police officers, then the prosecutor comes and says, well, we need more people to keep up with these police officers. And then here comes the public defender 6 months later, we need more people because the prosecutors file more cases. And then here come the courts with, hey, we're so full, we need a new employee once a year. And so it has a trickle down effect every time we add to somebody in the judicial system. And my concern is, we're not getting the juvenile magistrate that's state funded, at least for now, from what I hear. And there was just a vote earlier today to go ahead and accept the court manager to help the court's efficiency with what they say is already unmanageable. And so now we're talking about a whole nother attorney to work and file cases faster, and it's just a revolving door of everyone saying they can't keep up.
Well, a couple things. I mean, this is something I brought to the council's attention last year. I mean, and unfortunately, things didn't make it through last year. So this is not a new request. This is a request I've been working on for a good 20 months now. I mean, and beyond that, I think Hancock County is very, very fortunate. We're in a good place. We're having a lot of people that find Hancock County a place that they desire to go, to move to live, work, and raise their family. And so one of the primary reasons why, your surveys of people who've been out here will show you this, is because Hancock County is a safe place to live, all right? And so when you look around, central Indiana, you look around East Central Indiana, the public safety and the environment for our families in our community here is really pretty much second to none. And that's one of the primary competitive advantages we have. It's why people want to move here. It's why businesses want to do business here. And so, that is something which I think of all the things that government does, public safety, in my view, should be number one. Because if people do not feel safe in their homes or on their roads, then what do you really have? And we have made some significant investments in the justice system over the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, and I think it really has made a substantial impact on our ability to keep the community safe. Simultaneously, as you have that growth and as you have traffic that comes through here, those needs aren't static. They're changing all the time. And I can tell you for my 2 decades now being around the justice system, the minute that you begin to try to make expenditures to catch up with the problem you have, you're in really bad shape. And so, I understand, and I'm not immune to understanding the math of what you're talking about. Here, public safety is worth the investment. I think that's what people in this community want us to do. And, I really appreciate your consideration of our request.
I just need to make sure I'm looking at this correctly. To take your line total for the 2027 request is 1.6 million and some change. And the approved budget for last year was 1.5 million and some change. Of your 2027 budget listed, you've identified 4 different requests as being paid through grants, and those total $200,000. So if you take those out of your 2027 line, actually your request for 2027 is less than what was granted in 2026. Is that correct?
Part of that is paid from this fund, and then the other part is paid out of grant funds. So, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, wait a second, they can take that out.
Yeah,
Because you have paid by a grant next to a lot of these, so it looks like they shouldn't be in this budget.
Yeah, so I would.
Well, last time I didn't have enough notes, and they moved one fund or another.
Well,
so I put a lot of notes to say
so
that.
Yeah.
An example is juvenile deputy prosecutor, $84,000. No, that's your new position. 42,215 administrative assistant paid from grant funds. Is that 100%?
Part of it is paid from grant.
So
this does belong here on top of the grant funds, I think.
Right,
Is what
So
which
this is-
would help you understand when it looks like it's a little more than 3% on our general budget, we have people that are paid out of grants, and we've been told that we can still go ahead and give them a raise on their salary. So that's part of the reason it's there too.
And for me, the added
I'm
people
sort of
is
a-
just a matter of
the point is
money,
those
not
should still
whether
be in here. Those
they need the person or not, or the positions. It's just.
Well, my point was being is they're asking for two positions and less money, and I was trying to understand why.
Well, yeah. The last couple years, Brent has asked for people, and I was more supportive in prior years than some other elected officials on prioritizing the prosecutor's office. But, and I can't remember who felt what way. And so I'm not saying that they don't need more help, but the 5 court security officers we added, I mean, I would have hired Brent's 2 people and not hired 5 court security officers but now that that's happened, the problem is just strictly mathematical for me. You know, even during our 15-minute break, I was talking to Greg about our sustainability, about the changes coming down with SB1, and now it is just a matter of math for me. I would have prioritized him higher, but it is where it is now, money-wise.
Well, I think if he was asking for just an attorney, I would probably be against it with the situation we are financially. But I am concerned because he's asking for a juvenile. And I know that is increasing more and more. And I can see where there's a lot more different laws for juveniles than there is for adults. And I'm concerned about us not having, everybody's just hitting and missing. Oh, I'll take the juveniles this time and I'll take the juveniles next time.
What happens.
Yeah, I know. And that's, you know, you came and explained all that to us. And so I am concerned that we don't make a mistake because someone's not up on those laws. And I think somebody ought to be dedicated to it, but you did say they could do a few other things too.
Yeah, that would be my expectation. I mean, and honestly, that's what really, you know this anyway, is that everybody kind of pitches in and helps happen.
Sure.
You know, tentatively, I've got some ideas for, you know, we're fortunate enough to have the position. I think it could help us with some of the probation violations and some other things. And so there would be additional utility beyond what's been primarily described.
So a deputy prosecutor is a deputy prosecutor. It can do juvenile, it can do other stuff too, right?
That is correct. However, the caveat becomes is that somebody that, you know, would be relatively new as a prosecutor would be somebody that I would think would be a pretty good candidate for this, but they would not be a candidate for one of the major felony positions where there's substantially higher level litigation.
So with the juvenile deputy prosecutor, we all know that there's a charge that just got done, which is a juvenile is being charged as an adult.
Yeah.
Would the juvenile deputy prosecutor be doing this, or would the major crimes
Great
prosecutor?
question. Actually, there's a lot of stuff that's like that. And the short answer is that statutorily we would put them into adult court with the major felony prosecutors, but you've got to kind of catch it first, right?
Right.
You've got to be aware of certain prerequisites they have to have that to occur. And so, you know, having the capacity to catch those things would help to ensure they got that place. I think one of the biggest issues law enforcement has is that, you know, the decisions among lawyers when we're handing over stuff all the time are not always consistent. They're not always consistent from session to session. I mean, and that's a reasonable thing for them to have concern about. And I think if they had a consistent voice with which they worked, it would help make things work much better. I think that was also what probation was telling.
Well, I'll make a motion, and maybe it won't go anyplace, but I'll say we accept the prosecuting attorney's budget as written with the elimination of line item 11225 and $45,000 from line item 11301.
All right, I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Fund 1001 County General, as presented, minus the 11225 juvenile deputy prosecutor, and so taking out 45,000 line 11301 legal secretary assistant clerk. Any discussion?
Can we call roll?
Yes, Nick. It's a
I
final
think
question.
just, I mean,
go ahead.
just discussing that, I mean, new guy, but I've heard a lot of times we usually fall under budget, but also I think there might be some other tools to consider. Especially, I lean towards the deputy prosecutor for the juveniles, just sending the message, but also, I mean, it's growing, continuing to grow. Look at Marion County, there's just recently a juvenile killed an innocent person in a parking garage. That, yes, I understand it's a math issue, but I do think it's something that is important. And I think this is out of our purview, but something for the commissioners that if we do approve this position and then we get to a point where things are somewhat tight, we can look at a hiring freeze. I think, we just heard from IT department of Bernie's retiring. We know Dusty's going to be moving on. I'm sure they need that position, but maybe we don't hire that position for 6 months to help cover this position. And then if we're in a better point, because we'll get more information on AV and other areas, I would just assume not wait on this, and then we can figure out the math issue later. But
Well, for the sake of discussion, if we haven't filled all those courthouse security officers and we can give up 1 or 2 of those, then I'd change my vote to yes immediately. Have those all been filled, Brad?
Working on it. Takes time. It's to fill their spot. Because what I'm doing is I'm moving jail officers to those positions over there. But I gotta have coverage within the jail.
Remind me, where are those 5 people being placed? The 5 new ones?
So right now they're at the court. And so until I can get that full, then I'll have one over here. But I don't have that person here yet.
So that 5 will be 4 over there and 1 in here?
And plus we have the part-time. We kept all the part-time that already fully covered the courthouse, plus 5 new full-time.
You're fine. I got maybe 2 part-time guys left. They're slowly trickling their way out and won't be here very much longer. One of them.
Is there enough room to sacrifice any courthouse security for the sake of approving Brent's positions? I guess is my question, because I would do that.
Sure. I need to go look at this. I need to see where we're at before I say yes.
Well, and I get your point totally. I do.
I want Brent to have what he's asking for. We just have to take it from someone.
Well, but the security over there, that's okay, fine, as long as nobody's injured or killed, and then if they are, that's why public safety really gets me, because then it's on us.
But we were talking about 5 full-time people for a building that's open 35 hours a week. Okay, so if what Brent needs is that important, then we gotta find a way to cover the courthouse with less than 5 full-time people, 35 hours a week.
But I think you also look at,
is it, Brad?
I'd be shocked if 6 months from now, at the beginning of the fiscal year, there is not some sort of attrition with 400 employees. I want to keep every person we have, and I hope with some of the things we've done, everyone stays here and they continue to live here. 400 people, a few are going to move on, then that's where I think a hiring freeze is helpful, because then we can work with the commissioners and then do it on a job-by-job basis, and then we can say, okay, what's more important, this or this? And then let's say we do go ahead with the deputy prosecutor. If that is more important than 2 positions of people who leave, there may be some, like an IT leader. We're going to have to hire an IT leader. That's not one that's going to take much debate. But if there are 2 or 3 or 4 positions that I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that there's 4 open positions between now and December 31st, we just work with the department heads and the commissioners to say, well, you only have approval to hire 2 of the 4, and then immediately we fix the math problem for this.
I think your best shot at that is right here with court security, because after doing 4 of these budgets, there's not a department head in here that's gonna tell you they don't need every single one of these positions, whether somebody leaves or not. And we've added positions every year that I've been here, not just 1 or 2. We've been adding, if we went back 5 years, Greg has a sustainability over there and looked at how much we've added in the last 4 years in terms of new employees. It is substantial, because everybody says they don't have enough employees.
And if you try to make money in the short term, we're talking longer term here, you're going to have all.
And
It's not gonna
especially
seem
when you project revenues that go up 3 or 4% a year, and you've got inflation on pay at 3% a year, and then inflation of 9% a year on the healthcare, it's just net negative. The way it amortizes out is just net negative. It just really
Brad,
is.
how much did we allocate for each of those?
Oh, gosh.
Safety, security
For the
people?
security, I don't know what
Yeah,
the
do you
total
recall?
is.
Do you know the total?
I don't, not right
I
offhand.
believe it was
what that total
269,
it's the
89,000
benefits.
without benefits.
It's the benefits.
But that'd be
I
a
mean, the
swap.
total
That'd
pay
be a
was about
swap.
$350,000, I think, but.
So I know we haven't got to my budget yet, and I don't know where it stands, but in my general fund budget is where I stuck that SRO deputy in there, which apparently that's really probably where it's not supposed to be, because it needs to probably be over on the RDC thing. And so there's a $72,000 figure that's added into that probably can come out of that. That shouldn't be there, because that's where it's at. So you can subtract the 72,000 out of that. That really needs to be in the RDC line.
Well, and if you really wanted to jerk things around, the RDC could, you might be able to justify a new prosecutor and pay for them from the RDC.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the RDC is actually about broke now for the next couple of years, so.
They're not about broke, but it's the legal issue with, it's the legal issue.
With what you can
when you
fund.
start, when you start including scenarios that aren't directly related to that. But I understand the 72,000 should come out of your budget for that.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be compensated in another way.
Originally, that's where I thought it should go, but then we talked and then, yes.
No,
So
but
that's coming out.
That's coming
And
out. So
we'll talk about that
Coming
when I
out
give
of
it's
the
coming out
general?
of, yes.
Yes.
The
Being
72,000.
removing or?
It's going to be coming out of that, yeah, because it's in there right now.
And it needs to go to
take
RDC.
off. Yes.
So we
Yeah.
can subtract
Maybe.
that.
But if
Maybe
you can
RDC.
justify a sheriff's deputy from the RDC, why couldn't you justify a prosecutor from the
I don't know.
RDC?
I don't get paid at $700 an hour. That
Neither do I.
information, so I don't know myself.
I think it
but
depends on how the statute reads, on whether, if it's, equipment operations for law enforcement, or what it's actually states.
Yeah, I know.
Counts
That's why I
as
said
very
you're asking me questions that I don't
Yeah.
know
Maybe
yet.
split the
I
hair a
think
little
so.
too much.
Okay, so
Grace says
Well,
probably not.
we could vote.
I have a motion on the table. By the way, the courthouse is supposed to be open 40 hours a week. It's 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, yeah. So, they better be open 40 hours a week. So I have a motion second. We've had a lengthy discussion, and a roll call was requested, so we will do roll call on the motion, which is let me remind everybody, the motion is to approve 1001 County General for prosecutor, with the exception of juvenile deputy prosecutor going to 0, and the legal secretary assist clerk being minus 45,000.
Okay. Councilmember Shelby,
Yes.
Councilmember Bertram,
Yes.
Louder.
Well, I hate to vote no on his whole budget, but I really think this is important, so I'm going to vote no.
I'm no.
Oh, wait.
And it's the no was no.
No is no.
And
No.
Smith?
In lieu of Sheriff Burkhart's information, I'm going to vote no.
Smith?
I have a general purpose question. Procedurally, if we don't approve the budget,
And there could be another motion.
there's
We can
another
make
motion.
another-
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, we'll continue.
no.
And Woolridge.
No. So that motion dies 5 to 2. Do I have another motion on County General 1001 or additional discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the prosecutor's budget as presented.
I second it.
You had to do that, didn't you?
I have a motion and a second to approve General Fund 1001 County General as presented. Any discussion, Mr. Fisk? Mr. Fisk, give discussion.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can swap, I think we can fund money, take the money out of the sheriff's budget and put it into the, to that. But
Offset it.
that gives us one deputy prosecutor.
But he needs don't they need an assistant to?
Well, but he,
Paralegal.
Paralegal to partner with that person?
Honestly, we do. I mean, a big part of it is there's a lot of, it's the same equation, is your felony paralegals are having to do double duty. And when you get the juvenile stuff, I mean, and it's, what you all may not know is there's a lot of stuff where you've got to redact names and dates of birth because you're dealing with juveniles, and it's pretty labor intensive to do that because you can't, like, say, for example, you have 3 kids that get arrested, right? It is then the stuff that goes to each of the kids, you've got it to their lawyer and to their family, you've got to redact all the information about the other 2. right? And so actually, like, the intake of those is a lot more cumbersome than it is for the regular cases we have for those reasons. Because statutorily, we're required to keep those things confidential.
Well, I would want that to be a paralegal that is geared to that particular type of work, and they know what they're looking at every time they look
Right.
at it.
That
And it's
would
not
be-
just, I do this sometimes and I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
That's where mistakes happen.
Yes.
Yes, correct. I mean, and the girls do a great job, but occasionally, they're human. They're used to doing this and they do that, and occasionally, you know, we're not perfect.
So that's my motion.
Most, in further discussion, most people know that I teach I sometimes speak for CLE. There's a law that changed. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of it, where you used to put like the initials. You can no longer put initials. So there's things changing at the State
Oh,
House.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
juvenile
well,
law.
you can come watch my class if you want to next week. So,
more.
Yeah.
so
Every
yeah,
year.
they were changing that law, and so there's additional work they're gonna be doing, so I just point that out.
Yeah.
I know not everybody here would know that.
Yeah, ask the auditor when they change laws.
Yep.
She gets
All
a
right,
new job.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Can we have roll call again?
Yes, I have a request for roll call.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Roll call may begin.
Repeat the motion, please.
Sure, I
As
will.
presented. As presented.
It's as presented.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start with Councilmember Smith.
I am a no just to compromise on the math problem of, I don't want to hire 2 new positions, so.
Okay.
That's why I'm a no on this motion.
Member Fisk?
No, same reason.
Yes.
Councilmember No? Councilmember Louder?
Yes.
Councilmember Bertram?
No.
And Shelby?
No.
So
I will make a motion.
So we had, that was,
Holdred.
well, I'd vote yes, but it doesn't matter. Vote is 4-3 against, so that motion dies. Do we have another motion or further discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the prosecutor's budget as presented, with the elimination of $45,000 from line item 11301 for the legal secretary.
I'll second that motion.
45,000.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1001 County General for Prosecutor with the exception, as presented with the exception of legal secretary, assistant clerk being subtracted out $45,000 for that position. Any discussion?
I'm going to remain a no unless we find out that we can give up a courthouse security, one of the 5 courthouse security positions, then I would definitely be a yes.
Okay.
Agreed. I don't know why, since we haven't even filled all of those positions, that we can't have a serious conversation about maybe foregoing one of those people, just one.
And they make less than what we're talking about, but that's okay. I'm not worried about the difference in salary. It's just a whole benefits package alone.
When we get there, I'm supportive of going from 5 to 4. Just,
If we can go from 5 to 4,
I'm supportive of that.
then, but we have to ask Sheriff Burkhart if that's
Well, it's in
something-
his budget later today.
Well, I guess we can,
So-
but we need to decide now on this vote.
We're already taking 1 out of his budget.
Well, we're not taking it out, we're just moving it
Take a straw.
Well, no, we're taking it out because it's going to be reimbursed
to RDC.
and RDC is going to be reimbursed through Amplify, so it's a 0.
You're talking about something different. You're talking about the Amplify Resource Officer. I'm talking about 5 courthouse security.
Right, I know. Yeah, I know. I was just saying that it's a true zeroing out of the money for the resource officer.
That is, yeah.
Yes, it's a true zeroing out of it.
All right. I have a motion and a second for Fund 1001 County General as presented minus the legal secretary, assistant clerk, minus 45,000 on that line item. Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilmember Shelby, how do you vote?
I'm a yes if we can eliminate one.
But that's not the question, though.
That's not the.
You'd have to amend the motion. If that's your motion, you'd have to amend.
Yeah, you have to vote yes or no on the motion. It doesn't mean later that you could vote differently on something or get rid of something later. Okay.
Okay, Councilmember Bertram?
I'll vote no.
Councilmember Louder?
Well, I'm a little confused. I mean, it sounds like.
There will be
we have
another
to make
motion.
Yeah, there'll have to be another motion. So I don't know.
That'll be when we discuss the sheriff.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm a yes.
And
I don't like
Councilmember
it,
No?
but I'm a yes.
no.
It's called
Councilmember
compromise.
Fisk?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Smith, sorry, and Holdred?
Yes.
Ooh.
So now
So there's 4 yeses and 3 no's.
hit the
That
budget.
motion passes. Doesn't mean it won't change next
It
month.
doesn't mean we still can't take
That's
somebody away
eliminating
from
the
the
paralegal. or
That's eliminating the paralegal
sheriff's budget. We can't.
for now, yes.
I understand.
But we approved this without the
I know.
paralegal.
I understand, but it doesn't mean,
We can't put it back.
no, it doesn't mean we can't take somebody.
I don't see a point of taking somebody out of the sheriff's department's budget if that's not the reason is to fund this paralegal.
Well, we gotta save $800,000.
I agree with that, but this is the discussion for right now.
No, I know, but that's not the point.
When do you want me to come back?
Well, we gotta go to the next fund. You're not leaving yet.
Oh, okay.
There are more funds there than that.
2502.
Someone said it was gonna be easy.
Pretrial diversion.
Not on the public defender.
I think the total number stays
We could take
pretty
that
close
away.
to the same.
Everybody wants to promote positions, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know if they,
I move we accept 2502 as presented.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve 2502 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Fund 4020.
I move we approve 4020 as written.
Second?
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 4020 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Fund 8889.
I move we approve 8889 as presented.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 8889 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next fund, 8895-0009, Title 4D General.
I make a motion, we approve Fund 8895, Title D as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Fund 8897.
I move we approve 8897 as written.
Second. I was gonna say that it got awful quiet down to the other end of the thing.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 8897 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fund 8927, stop grant. There's been a reduction in this grant, it says, so. That's all.
Move we approve Fund 8927.
Mary wants a second.
I'll second. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mary seconded, okay. I have a motion and a second to approve 8927. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now, Mr. Eaton, you had a question about when to come back?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if we'll discuss it later today, but my guess would be the beginning of August at the budget meeting, this may come up again, especially if we have to make cuts.
I understand.
Okay.
Thank you. And I really appreciate the attention and the questions you all have asked during the course of process for the last year and a half, and the attention you've given to the memo and the letters and the other documentation I provided prior to today. And so, thank you.
All right, next up is the public defender. So the public defender, the first two line items, he added 3%. I thought the chief and the deputy were supposed to be matching the prosecutors. I didn't.
Required to match the prosecutor
Required.
at minimum.
Oh, at minimum. So you're asking for a raise that they don't get?
I'm asking for a raise that I haven't gotten in 2 years
Well, that's
also.
'cause
But
they don't
no, I'm
got
just-
one.
What this is, in preparing this, is my understanding is that's the minimum, in speaking with the council prior, is that's the minimum that's required. There's nothing to say that there can't be a matching or the 3%. If the county doesn't want to give it, it doesn't want to give it. I mean, we're proceeding as we have in the past. I mean, like I said, I make plenty of money as it is, and I'm very grateful for that position. But given that there haven't been raises, and also, just for the record, the judges and prosecutor and chief trial deputy get I believe, a $5,000 stipend from the county, which we don't get. So when you add that in, we are not making the same amount of money. This is just on the base. But since we hadn't received a raise, and our understanding was we could ask for the 3%, since that's a minimum, we included that. But it's obviously up to you all if you want to approve it or not. And that's totally fine, so.
Then what's the CCAA comp plan? You asked for more money for your legal assistant slash assist slash clerk line.
That goes back to kind of what we discussed last year, sir. We have our comprehensive plan that requires pay parity between the department, of our department, and the prosecutor's office. But you have to look at what the position's doing and what the requirements are, what their responsibilities are, their education, experience, so on and so forth. Last year when we dealt with this, we had our previous paralegal who's since left and gone back into the private sector, had an associate's degree and no relevant legal experience, so we had her matched up with somebody lower level in the prosecutor's office. Now, our current paralegal has a bachelor's degree in criminal science. She has about 15 years in legal work experience between the prosecutor's office, a couple times there, the clerk's office, the probation office, Department of Child Services, our office now for over about a year now. So based on her experience and what she brings to the table and everything she does, she's also going to court almost every day to assist our attorneys in court too. She is also the front, she faces the public every day in our office. So based on that, we sought out what we believe now is her corresponding person at the prosecutor's office who has a bachelor's degree, has 11 years of paralegal experience. I think a lot of that's with the prosecutors, not all of it, but still. So they're very comparable in their experience and job responsibilities. In fact, if you look at the job descriptions for the two positions, I think the title's a little bit different, maybe, but essentially they have the exact same job responsibilities, absent verbiage regarding public defender versus prosecution work. So that's why we are asking for an increase in salary to match her responsibilities, education, experience.
So this is one person?
Just one person.
Okay.
Do you have anyone that works from home?
We have, occasionally, we do have a work remote telework policy in place.
Have you cleared that with the commissioners?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We ran it past HR, discussed that with them, cleaned up some of the language, got her feedback on that first. And then I believe, was it Monday? Tuesday? Presented that and ahead of time, and they approved that for us.
The reason I'm asking is I've received emails that people have went to your office and the door's locked and there's nobody there.
Well, there may be occasions when the door's locked at lunch, as other offices do when there's not staffed at lunch, but usually there's somebody there.
There shouldn't, if you've got more than two people, then you should have somebody there during lunch periods that they stagger. So
Okay,
I
well,
don't
that's fine.
understand why
And then-
the door would be ever locked from normal business hours, 8 to 4, or whatever. If they're a 40-hour week, then I would assume what hours accommodate that.
We only have 5 employees, and we have to be in court. So if we aren't in court, if the door's locked, there's a sign on the door. Sometimes I'm in court, Mark's in court, Myron's in court, Janice is doing something, Lindsay may be over in court. So
Maybe
that's
that
the only
person that's
time.
working at home should be there that day?
I don't think there's ever been time somebody's working. The only time that anybody really works at home, per se, is it's in part of our approved telework document is our paralegal will occasionally work on a Tuesday afternoon so she can access a faster internet home. Since we're still not in public building, we don't have access to the fiber optic internet, and it's just easier for some of the large amounts of discovery we get from the state, videos and so on. She will spend that working at home, downloading and using those resources. That's the only reason that we're doing that, so.
I would like to see the office always door open when the scheduled hours are, especially with 5 people available, even though you do have some court appearances, that you could make sure that you're always open at the scheduled hours.
Okay.
And I would point out that we increased the contractor, his attorneys that he hires up to $500,000 from $100,000 to have it be a realistic figure. And now we'll be looking at the true cost of a public defender office rather than having to make additionals along the line. So I move we approve the public defender budget as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the budget fund 1001 Public Defender's Office as presented. Any discussion?
Yeah, go ahead. So we're halfway through the year. Do you know what your legal services is for 2026?
I do, at least what we've spent so far. I can let you in.
Yeah.
Along those lines, so far through June 30th, we have spent $274,362.11.
Thank you. That's what I needed to know.
Any other discussion? All right. We have a motion on the table for the approved Fund 1001 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? Aye.
No.
Okay, we have 4 yeses and 3 no. Hold on. Let's just do roll call.
Okay.
Let's do roll call real
Councilmember,
quick.
Shelby?
Why do I always have to go first?
I know, you
Yes.
need to jump that
Because I
around.
get confused on Clark Smith or Smith Clark. So it
Either
takes me a
one
minute.
works. Just say either one. I'll go first.
Two
I
first
was on it
names.
before.
I'm a yes.
You're a yes, okay.
Random.
I'm a
Never knew-
yes.
Never knew.
I'm a no.
And I'm sorry, Shelby, you were
Yes.
Yes. 2 yeses and I'm first no.
louder yes,
No.
louder no,
You never know what I'm going to do.
and no.
No.
And Fisk?
Is there a good reason why louder's a no?
Yes. There it is.
She just said yes.
Who's on first? Okay, Fisk?
Yes.
Mine's the pay for public defender in chief, that's why. So I'm a no.
And you're a no.
Yeah, I would, yeah, I agree.
There's more than one
So
thing.
that's 4.
4-3 yes. Okay, 4-3 yes, approved. All right. Next fund is 1,200.
I guess he did.
That's our supplemental public defender fund.
Fund 1,200, pauper council expenses, $10,000. Remind me, source and use.
This is defender fund. Basically, user fees get paid into this. Like, if there's some people get paid into that, it's a very limited fund. We were given a lot more leeway when we created the office to use that for paying attorneys. Now it's very limited for one-time expenses. Say, for instance, we had that large 2-week trial in circuit court. If we had enough in that, that would be used probably to pay for transcript fees, which are going to be enormous as that comes through. We've got 3 reporters working on that, so on and so forth. Now, so we've tried to appropriate about $10,000 out of that in case we need to use it. I don't believe we touched it this year, but it just goes back in there. It grows as the court's order funds into it.
I'll make a motion to approve 1,200 as presented.
I'll second it.
I have a motion, a second to approve Fund 1,200 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign for against. All right, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. I'll see you in August if you need me or in my office. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Recorder is next. Fund, General Fund 1,001.
Okay, I'm not even gonna let Marcia speak. I'm gonna make a motion to approve her budget as presented.
Second.
I'll second it. Oh, sorry.
Are you talking about all the funds or just,
The first one, general.
oh, the first one? Okay,
General
thanks.
we
I have a
could do them all.
I have a motion, a second to approve the General Fund 1,001 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any against the same sign? Motion carries 7-0.
Can I do all of the next 3
Yes,
together?
please.
I'm going to make a motion to approve Fund 1160, Fund 1189, and Fund 1217 as presented.
I second it.
All right, I have a motion, a second to approve Funds 1160, 1189, and 1217 as presented. Any discussion?
Marcia, since I do want to hear from you, but can you tell me about the elected official education funds?
Yes. I tried to send Clark a picture of who was eligible to get the elected training fund money. So for instance, in my recorder budget, I don't have a travel account in the general fund because I use all of my money out of this training. There are, by statute, the recorder, the treasurer, the surveyor, the auditor, and the clerk of the court can all access this training money. A couple years ago, when we did that big digital program that we did, we were able to also then increase and allow counsel to have. So there's 36,000 total, 6,000 each group that can use that money for training. That training money can be travel, lodging, mileage, et cetera. So that was kind of, I think, what Clark's asking me about.
Well, there may be some duplications that we may be able to find where we can reduce.
But only in code for these particular offices.
But if they say the auditor has 6,000 for training, travel, we could reduce that budget some and use, it's not all, it looks like 2 years ago, we used 13,000 of the 36,000, so there just might be some duplication that we could, it's not gonna save us a ton of money, but a little bit.
Save a ton.
Is it still only for state called?
No.
Okay.
It's educational, any kind of AIC, it's any kind of training now.
All right, so the only thing I had was your group insurance, you didn't increase it. I thought
No, I
everybody-
did not.
I thought everybody was increasing like 9% or something.
My sworn statement that I presented to you guys for the 300,000 says I cannot spend more than 300,000. So anything
You have to do
extra
it.
has to go to there because as per Mr. Garitas said, my fund would not be sustainable trying to maintain employee insurance.
Okay, got it. All right, got a motion, a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Motion
Hi,
carries.
Marcia.
Thanks, Marcia.
Next up, soil and water, Cindy Newkirk.
Savings account.
While Cindy comes up here, I don't think there is a conflict of interest, but I'm going to recuse myself from soil and water due to my work at ISDA. I work directly with the leader of the Soil and Water Conservation Division and sit next to Don Lamb and report to Don Lamb and to Lieutenant Governor Beckwith. So I don't think there's exactly purview, but I'm going to recuse from this one.
You're probably fine on this one.
I'm going to move
seconds,
that
and
we
I'm outta here.
approve the
wanted to be
soil
on
and
the-
water budget as written.
I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion, a second to approve the soil and water budget, County General as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, same sign. All those who recuse themselves.
Clark, me.
Motion carries 6-0 with one
Be
recusal.
Mr. Clark.
Guys,
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Next up, Solid Waste Management District, D.D. Allender.
As Dee Dee comes up, I'm not going to recuse myself from the solid waste decision, even though I'm involved in the industry.
Isn't that where you make all your money?
Absolutely.
Solid waste?
Solid waste.
Let it be disclosed, he owes Kent Fisk Trash Services.
Well, I'm going to move we approve Fund 1194 as written.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1194. Any discussion, Mr. Fisk?
I noticed you have attorney fees added in.
This is only for event expense.
Yeah, event 1194.
1194.
Only event
Oh, I'm
expense.
sorry. I'm way past it.
Do you have any concerns on that?
Not on 11.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. All right, Mr. Fisk, why don't you have your questions on 4021?
Yeah, 31100, attorney legal fees, $5,000. We haven't had a solid waste management board attorney in the past.
Yeah, well, that's
But-
something that the board has chosen to do. We voted on it and passed it because we're getting a lot of complications.
Well, that was my question. What's came about causing
Because Scott
legal-
just kind of pinch hits for solid waste, and we decided that we really need somebody, an attorney, to do that. I
Well,
mean-
isn't Scott Benke an attorney?
Huh?
Scott Benke is an attorney.
Well, I know, but
She's
he's the
saying they kick
counsel.
things
I mean,
to
the
him.
commissioners. Yeah, yeah. It'll be strictly for solid waste.
Oh, so you're getting rid of Benke on that? Okay.
But what Ken's question
Can I apply
is
for
what
it?
types of activities?
What activities have come about that needs an attorney?
It's just, there's been local changes and all
Contracts.
that, yeah.
Yes.
Contract, all that, and she really has no representation that knows what she's talking about. I mean, Scott can do basic stuff, I mean, that we do on council, not basic, but at the same time, it's everyday stuff, but, what the department has gotten a little bit more tricky when it comes to legal. So it was felt through the solid waste board that she needed an attorney that could represent her.
And represent us on anything that we need. And they will attend our meetings.
Well, that was my initial question, because I haven't been to the meetings.
Yeah.
That the commissioners are in the meetings, and the commissioners have an attorney. So if you feel like that attorney isn't adequate, then that's.
It's not that he's not adequate, but we need our own attorney.
She needs her own representation, I mean, even with contracts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Your meeting, lodging, and travel increased? Are you going to a different conference, or?
Just over the years, the prices are starting to go up, and travel expenses are, lodging and stuff like that are more expensive as well.
We probably should. You don't receive a tax rate, right?
No.
You're all revenue supported. How's your revenue and your fund balance?
In which fund?
In 40221 is the majority of your fund.
Right, yeah, it's everything, yeah.
So how's the revenue? How's the cash balance right now?
It comes from county general each year because we don't have a tax rate for them.
And they don't have a revenue really.
No.
So we're 100% funded through.
Yes.
Got it. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, we don't have a landfill or any source of income for it.
Perfect, thanks. Everybody's a little different.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'll move we approve Fund 4021 as written.
I second it.
All right, I have a first and second to approve Fund 4021 as presented. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
NASA, Tim, come on up.
Easy.
Good afternoon.
Oh.
Let me get to it.
I move we approved Fund 1148 as written.
Sorry, second it.
All right, motion and a second to approve 1148 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Thanks, and good to see you, Tim.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks.
All right, Surveyor Chad.
Bye-bye. That's where we're gonna lose some time.
We all do the same thing, just show up and leave.
Well, it
Just
depends.
that easy.
Not all departments get that.
Well, it depends. Let me look at your.
There you go. Run through it.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
I'll take it.
Changes.
Move we approve the Surveyor's Fund as written.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Surveyor's General Fund 1001 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. There's a, next one is,
I move we approve the Drainage Board Fund.
No tourism.
Oh,
that'd be the next one, yeah.
yeah, 10001-0063.
Oh, we're still in the.
I second.
Yeah, he's got 3 or 4.
He's got multiple funds. They all say 1001 at the top. They probably need to say 1001-0063.
Yeah.
but
0063. Ah, it's right down here.
it's down lower, yeah.
Jim seconded it.
We have a motion, a second. Oh, thanks. We have a motion, a second to approve the Drainage Fund of, Drainage Board Fund of 1001-0063. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next one is the General Fund GIS.
Before you run into that, Commissioner McDaniel would like to say something on that.
I've had a lot of department heads and elected officials come to me and say that we do not need to. And they have requested an increase. It didn't get in on the budget, but they didn't get it to me.
Doesn't Chad do his own budget?
So is this a request
I
from
do.
them
Okay.
or the surveyor?
GIS.
I'm confused, I guess.
So the GIS has always been an interesting department as it sits under the surveyor's office. It has for a number of years since the map room got moved out of upstairs into our office. And one of the things about the GIS department is it has grown to a position where it really, how you want to say, is integrated into just about everything we do in the county for where we're at. It really is into everything that we're doing. And we like that it still stays under the surveyor's department just because of the basis of GIS and the way that it works. It makes sense in the way it works through. But what we're finding out as we work through this, as much as they are integrated into everything else, they are, what
well, vastly underrepresented monetarily, and they do things. So we know where the budget's at this year. We understand where things are at. So I did not put it into my budget for where it was at. It had been approached by John Milburn and the people in that budget. There's been discussions with 911 over with John Jucanis and deciding how we could maybe pool money and do things together and make things work, and we couldn't get that done in time for the budget. So that's why it was not in my budget for that standpoint. I think Mr. McDaniel's bringing that forward to inform the group that maybe later in the year we may come before you with some proposals from that standpoint. I did not want to put it in the budget because I didn't want to slow the budget process down right now from that standpoint as you work through everything. But from that same standpoint, I want to give you information going forward that is something that we will probably bring forward to you with a little more collaboration between different departments and trying to figure out how the best way is to make that to work. It's not necessarily, I'm looking for that money right now. So it's more of a informational thing for you to understand that we understand the deficiency that is in that department. And part of it is, we talk a lot about as a county, how fast we're growing and the things that we're doing and what the people, our constituents, the people that we work for, what they want and what they need, right? And part of that growth includes moving into the 21st century and everything we do. And GIS has a huge amount into that and what we do. And as it integrates all our offices that frankly have gone from paper and pen to now digital and everything that we do. And people want that information right now. And that stuff, it's where it's at. And I understand the monetary side of trying to make that work. So we didn't want to slow the process down, but I think it's more of an informational thing to kind of put that on the headways as it moves forward. So.
And if we lose people, you can't replace them for what they make.
I agree. I worked with John for years when I was upstairs, and I always, he did everything that we asked for from the assessor's office, and we demanded a lot at that time because staying on track with mapping and lot sizing and names, and he was very good at it. And I always thought he was underpaid at that time, but it was not my concern, not my office. But I think John, I don't know the other person to speak on their behalf, but
She's very good. She is John's right-hand man.
Yeah.
Right-hand gal.
right-hand gap. But I think John is very deserving. I mean, he's been a county employee for how many years?
22 years. Yep.
Yeah, and I think he's very underpaid for what he provides this county and what he does.
And we go to conferences all the time, right? And whether it's AIC or whatever, and they're in the top 5 to 3% of GIS departments in the state, whether it's a city or a county or whatever. They actually ask them to speak at places.
I think they are good too, but everybody else who had an increase, at least I had a chance to do some research on it and do some comparisons. So I would say we table this one.
Well, yeah, we're not bringing that. That's more of an informational thing that it may come by later
Well, and
on.
I don't know if anyone's, and she just stepped out, but one of the things we talked about in adding an HR department is that in the past, department heads have come and made their own case for employees. And the problem with that is because they're biased in favor, they can cherry pick. I'm not suggesting you're doing this.
Sure, absolutely.
But the problem with that is we don't all have time to look at every single individual thing and do our own research. And then you have a department head who's trying to make a case using selective data. Part of the benefit of having an HR department is that we would have an unbiased representative to go out and look at a salary for a type of position and back up that department head with data without the bias of being their boss. And so if you could work with our new HR director
Absolutely.
through that, and I definitely think that getting someone's pay where it needs to be when that's proven is better than adding a whole nother employee with a whole nother insurance package.
Absolutely.
So if that's what needs to happen, I'm certainly open to it.
Sure.
And I'd love to start using our HR department to work through those processes.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not looking for the increase right now in the budget. It's just,
Yes.
just kind of an informational thing, and it's.
So maybe to keep our numbers reasonable, maybe rather than tabling it, we ought to pass the budget.
you should vote on this.
Requested.
I move we approve
Table the question.
I move we approve.
I'll move that we approve the GIS budget as
Presented.
requested.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1001-0280, the GIS General Fund, as presented. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I move we approve 1202 Cornerstone Perpetuation Fund as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1202 as presented. Any discussion?
Scott, say perpetuation.
Cornerstone Perpetuation.
Oh, thank you.
1202 as presented. Any discussion? No. I always look at Kent here. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, folks.
Hey, yeah, send an email or something.
I will.
How you got, because it seemed to me, I was like, look at the numbers, I was like, really round numbers, look like you just took a dartboard and picked a round number, so.
I would say for what John's skill set is, and we had to fill that position, it would probably be double
Yeah,
or
it would.
more of what we're paying him right now.
That's fine.
Okay, great, thank you.
Next up is the Tourism Commission, Bob Matsey.
I don't see Bob here.
No.
His
Can,
budget's less than what last year's was, so.
can the commissioner speak for the tourism?
I could probably speak more, I don't want to speak
I'd
for
like to ask
tourism, but I probably know more about it
about
than
tourism.
anybody, because I did talk to them, but I don't want to speak for
I mean,
them.
it went down.
Yes. Gosh, I feel out of turn. Is our 240 here? Because maybe we'll just give him a few more minutes to come show up, and if not, I will. Our 240, Dick Simon, is he here?
No.
He is actually gonna be out of town. He notified me that he would not be here.
All right, so if you want me to, I'll skip the weights and measures.
Yeah, let's give him a few more minutes, see if he comes, and if not, I'll tell you what I do know.
The weights and measures is not, he's not gonna be here. Do we want to, we can either do a motion on it, change something, or table it?
Are you talking about weights and measures?
Yep.
Yes.
I say we do a motion.
All right, go ahead.
I do have a
Did we
question.
get the right amount there?
Was this one of those 3%, didn't back out the 27th pay things, or?
No, he received $1,500.
Oh, 1,500,
Yes.
okay.
So which happened to be higher than 3%.
Okay, and
That
then
is
fuel
correct.
speaks for itself, and, yeah, okay, that was my only question.
I'll move, we approve weights and measures.
I second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1001 for weights and measures. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
Second on that.
Yes, that was me.
Robin?
Wasn't me.
All right, he's still not here. Would you
Well, okay, so how about this? I'll tell you what I do know, and if it seems there's approval, we can move forward, but if people are disapproving, then I suggest we, reach out about their appearance. I was involved with the nonprofit tourism board up until a few months ago, so I know what they were doing, and I have talked to them about what has changed and what is changing. And so they did not give the director a raise, so the 3% is not applied there. So you'll see zeros there, standard 9% on the health insurance. They did have an increase of office supplies, but, honestly, for the business they're in, that's really not that much as far as what they're doing. I don't know specifically on the increase of operating supplies, what's that's intended for.
Cell phone seems excessive. $6,000, how many phones do they have?
That I cannot speak to. I would think only one, so I don't know about that. That would be $500 a month, so that probably is something that you want to ask about. I have no idea on that. I was looking in here. Oh, I guess it's not even in this.
$4,500 for one.
$6,000.
Well, I know that's what they're proposing, but last year we granted them $4,500.
I pay $100 a month for two.
I'm not clear at all on who would have a cell phone besides the director.
I'm not clear either, but is there something like the 911 cell phones, they have to be like satellite cell phones? I don't think it would still be $6,000, but I don't know.
Tourism?
Yeah.
And
I was thinking they had two
I think it's a
phones.
landline, Gary.
in place of a landline.
There may be a.
Oh, it does say cell phone.
Yeah, she may have a cell and a landline.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't think it'd be $6,000, but.
Yeah.
Well, and there's no
Happens, we'll see
line
what
item
happens.
for internet, so I don't know if their internet is lumped in there, so I can't speak to those,
She
those
definitely
types of
has the
things.
internet, I'm sure. All
Right,
the
and I
things she
don't,
does.
I don't see a separate, that could be office and equipment expense, that could
Or
be.
computer contractual. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, honestly, I can't answer questions like that, but what I can tell you at the end, the biggest expense, the 575,000, that's the portion getting transferred to the not-for-profit for expenditure by the nonprofit. So this is the Tourism Commission. They transfer a percentage of revenue to the nonprofit. Jim and I met with them, when was that, Jim? A couple months ago? We met with the board chair and the board treasurer to request that we begin engaging in some kind of process that would explore the best use of tourism tax going further. This is innkeeper's tax paid by people who stay in hotels less than a month. And so it was agreed to at that meeting. They shared our belief that it should be explored what all could be done with their revenue stream. And they were going to get some consultancy proposals for people who specialize in the space of consulting on growing your tourism impact. And they were going to get a couple proposals from people who specialize in that area and follow up with us. And then embark on some kind of study and evaluation of all the possibilities in Hancock County of what they could do with their revenue stream. They did also send me, because a lot of that money, most of their money was being granted through a grant process that occurred every other month. They would give away money, and there weren't a lot of parameters on who could apply or for how much and that kind of thing. And so they did send me an updated grant guidelines, and it is extremely limited. There are many things previously funded, which was legal, but in light of trying to find better ways to impact tourism, they've created these parameters, and the grants will be more limited in what types of things they can fund, how much you can ask for, what kind of event you have to, or activity you have to
So
be
is part of that
asking.
575 include the grant money?
That's all grant money,
That's all
basically.
grant money.
It's the slush fund.
But when Jim and I met with them, they indicated they think that they could reproportion 250,000 a year, which I encouraged them to make greater. But the treasurer said he did think 250,000 of that a year could be reappropriated to some kind of ongoing annual investment into something bigger. And they do have the capacity to bond, they have the capacity to hire and have contractors and everything. So I've not received any follow-up since that meeting. But that was how we left that.
Okay, so how much, Mary, how much money did they receive in 2025, or how much money they got so far? How much money did they receive? Because
You know,
$855,000.
855,000 is what they received.
well, and there's a discrepancy. What they said they received and what we got from the treasurer aren't
Well-
the same number.
Well, the little technicality, the money that goes for their operations are paid directly, so they don't actually get it. The gross amount coming from the tax was 855,000, but they have operating expenses of about 110,000.
In 2025,
so
they got
don't get that.
733,000 and change was what they got in 2025.
Okay, that's with their operating
733.
expenses out.
Is this what their operating expenses
That's, yes, that's with their operating expenses taken out. So they had discretionary spending of over $700,000.
That, they say that it's lower than that, but Jane Clemmy said they received $733,000
Okay.
There could have been for 2025?
in 2025.
Because it might have been a draw like from December to January or something.
I did wonder about that, like from the time the income hits, because I think it's monthly, and the time it gets distributed. I didn't know if there was like some end of year rollover.
It could have been, but that would have been, I guess, the same for the previous year, so it would have, it works out, but.
And Kent, they said that they were spending more money the last couple of years than they were bringing in. So.
Because they had built up a reserve.
Yeah, and so they were spending.
They had built up a reserve. COVID scared them because their revenue suddenly, and I own Airbnbs, and literally everybody canceled as far as the eye could see when COVID happened and they said stay home. So I get that they felt they needed to build a bigger reserve. Then revenues started coming in higher than they ever had and higher than expected. And so that reserve built much faster than they thought it would. In the last few years, they opted to give away that money through grants in a greater proportion. But they have acknowledged that that's not sustainable and that they're going to explore ways to make room for a major investment that is a data-based decision on increasing tourism.
So all of my concerns are, first off, if you look at the past couple of years, the amount of income is exponentially getting larger every year. And the commissioners have the ability to help them direct what the slush fund is used for, okay? And if we're having $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 of discretionary spending, okay, I think that my hope would be that the commissioners would figure out some type of direction for that money, a project large enough to really affect tourism in the county, and 250,000 ain't gonna hack it. Okay.
Well, it'll be a perpetual fund that.
I know,
it'll
but they
build.
could bond for $400,000 or $500,000, what a bond would take for $400,000 or $500,000.
What they would argue if they were here is that there are things they do already fund that they want to continue funding.
I understand
like
they would argue that.
Riley Days and the Flat 50 and some other things that I'm not suggesting aren't fair requests.
Right, I'm not saying take their total budget, but we have multiple major hotels coming online.
Correct. There is 2 more hotels opening. One of the
Presently.
revenues is spoken for to pay
Right.
the bond for it, though.
But I don't worry now about the COVID thing any longer or about saving money any longer. What I really worry about is about us actually doing something that we can say is accountable for the money that we are taking from these people. Because we
I
are
think
taking a lot of money from these
Need them
people.
in here to vote on their budget. I think they need to be here. I'll reach out right now and ask if they plan to come. If there was a misunderstanding, they weren't gonna be here today, what do we
And I don't know why they would cut their discretionary spending.
Ken,
Why did they cut their, everything is listed under 39,508, other services and charges. But why did they cut it from last year? Are they anticipating less money?
Yes, and that's another area where I have a different opinion than what one of the representatives might say. But, you know, there was some events last year that they seemed to think were like one-offs that really helped their revenue. But the way I do the math is if you're charging a 5% tax on a 2-night hotel stay, even if you fill up every county hotel for 2 nights and do 5%, we're talking in $10,000 increments. You know what I mean? So one event where people come stay a night or two is not what builds tourism revenue. It is consistency across the year. And I know at my Airbnbs, I run up like 92%
I was gonna
occupancy.
say-
I don't know if the hotels are
I
similar,
know,
but
aren't Airbnbs
they are
included in
similar.
this? And I'm familiar with a couple family members' Airbnbs, and they're rented out even more than they've ever been.
yes, they're always full. And the hotels, we believe, have it too. I know that tourism also, some representatives there felt that there was a lot of construction going on at I-70 that was putting workers in hotels, and that construction has now progressed far enough east that they won't have workers in hotels in Greenfield again this year. I can't
Yeah,
speak
but
if
on
that's
top
true.
of that too, the hotels have increased their rates.
Ken, I think the 2 gentlemen that we met with are very cooperative, and I think that going forward, I think we can work with them. The next meeting we have with them, you'd be welcome to come. But I think maybe working with them outside of a public meeting like this is probably good for a while.
Yeah,
Because
I've
I think
done that
they're
4 or
the
5
same
times.
attitude that you.
I know, but I've done that 4 or 5 times myself. I've actually voted to increase their revenue, back when we added another percent to, or another
1%.
a penny to them. I'm just struggling to find a reason why we've spent millions of dollars since I've been here. I'm just struggling to see the benefit of it. So I want to go forward with something I can see the benefit of.
Yeah.
And I think it's been clearly communicated that the county council does have the ability to reduce or revoke the innkeeper's tax if they don't feel like it's of good use. The one downside to that is of all the taxes we take in, that's the only one that's not from locals. It's from people who come to stay overnight here. It's not local taxpayers. And so if we were gonna cut a tax, it's the least advantageous of them.
Well, I didn't
But-
say eliminate the tax.
Yeah.
What I said was, let's do something important with it.
I agree.
It's big enough to let's do something.
And I think that's what they're looking at.
Do they still receive that extra 1% that they did at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5%.
I assume so.
5%.
Yeah, it was 4, we give them
Yeah.
5.
Okay, yeah, it's 5, yeah. So I think we should wait to vote on their budget until they are present so people can have their questions. Because I can't speak to $500 a month cell phone cost or anything like that.
All right, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna demand them to be here next month, or their budget zeroed out? I mean, we gotta put some kind of demand to force them
Yeah,
to
or
get
we'll
here.
just approve 26's budget and not.
Well, I wouldn't even do that because their grant
Their
funding is even
numbers.
higher in 2026.
Yeah, you don't
So
wanna
if
do that.
anything,
I'd like to know how come they're
Oh, it's
cutting
higher?
their budget.
But the two guys
What is
that we met with, I don't know why Bridget couldn't come, but the one gentleman has really bad cancer. So who knows, he may have been the one that was supposed to be here and had to
That's Bob Massey.
do something else. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
I sent him a message to ask if he had planned to be here today, and I've not yet, I just sent that, I've not yet heard. So, I would propose that Ray, there's no reason we can't approve a department's budget in August, right?
I say usually at least.
It doesn't have to get done today.
We won't have the net values until August, which is gonna determine if DLGF is gonna give us what we're wanting anyway. So, I mean, August is usually when you do your final numbers.
And we're not advertising any later, so you got time. And so, if you never hear from them, the answer is you would do 0 until they came, and then you'd have to appropriate it. So that's the ultimate.
Well, to look at the numbers, though, that we did today, if we don't do this, then it skews the numbers.
I think we
right?
can let them know that they.
It's better in some ways to go ahead and do it.
We've tabled these before.
Yeah,
And sure, we can table it.
you've got the request.
Just harder to account for stuff.
Do you have to have a motion to table?
Yeah,
it,
and
or can the president table it?
Well, I don't think you can't table something indefinitely. You have to set the time.
Well, I was gonna say, I was gonna set the August, and if they don't appear, then it'll be a zeroed out budget like he said and I said.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we table the tourism budget until the first meeting, the first Wednesday of August.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second to table the Tourism Commission until the first meeting in August, the budget meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Can you put it on the agenda?
Yeah, they'll put it on the agenda.
Reach out to them.
Yeah.
And they'll tell them, they'll threaten them that it'll be 0 if you don't come.
Did you say?
They'll make sure someone's here, won't they?
That will make up a
Maybe.
big part of our shortage.
Maybe.
On the agenda.
All right, next up is Sheriff Burkhart for our 2-hour-long.
I would take a break real quick.
All right, we're gonna take do you want a break?
No, I was joking. It's like, do we want to take one before?
I think a couple people need a break, so let's do a 5-minute break and Sheriff can get set up.
It's like, Case.
Don't turn on yet. Just- All right, we call the meeting back to order, July 8, 2026. Keely, you have a comment from the,
I did hear back from Bob Matsey. It was just an oversight, he said, and he asked me to, he said he could come now, but I suggested that we just stick with the tabling it to the first Wednesday of August. And he asked me to please give everyone his apologies for the oversight.
all right, next up on the agenda is Sheriff Burkhart. First fund is 1001-0005.
Move
They would want brothers on that.
the sheriff's budget, general fund, as written, with the exception of the sheriff's retirement fund. And the normal contribution we would be making would be $1,047,123. And then the sheriff will follow up later, delineating the different options that we might look at for having new parts to it later.
Having a new what?
Pardon me?
Having a new what? I didn't catch that.
He presented the COLA before and the age changes as possibilities
And a death
for us.
benefit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Those are things we're still considering.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll come back in August with that.
all right, so I have a motion on the table for 1001. Do I have a second?
I'm sorry, whoa. Before you get to that,
Sure, go ahead.
we might want to go ahead and subtract the 72,284
Yes.
out of that deputy line.
That's going to RDC, correct?
Well, it doesn't necessarily go to RDC. I mean, it will be in the RDC budget to get reimbursed. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
subtract 72,000 what?
72,284.
284 from the 3.783 million. Is that the line item we're minusing it from?
That 11,200.
Yes.
That has one of the 4 deputies that's in the RDC
What's that
in
amount?
here.
That's
Not in general fund. No. It's
amplify resource officer.
it's the SRO thing. Yes.
Okay.
300 and,
No, it's 3 million.
3,710,999.
999. 3,710,999.
That would be another exception.
And is those 5 jail people, security people on this first page?
No.
Or elsewhere.
They're in the jail.
No.
Okay, so I have a motion on the table for Fund 1001 as is, with the exception of sheriff retirement being dropped to $1,047,123, and the deputy line item being dropped to $3,710,999 from Mr. Shelby. Is there a second from someone?
I'll second.
There's a second from Ms. Buttram. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. The next budget item is 1,001-0380. There was an increase in the line item 12,006,
That was.
20%.
That was for the 5.
Oh, that's the 5, okay.
Security people. And is there then a new tech in there?
Yeah, so you can see that the courthouse security deputy and the logistics evidence, both of those were zeroed. Those got moved into that one line item. And plus that security, the public safety tech position. Now, it was already in there at like a $55,000 salary, but it increased another 20. And so, but it's in that line item. So it is in there, yes.
But that's a new person?
It wasn't necessarily, no, it wasn't a new person. It's changing the name of what the person did before. It's just a job assignment change.
Okay.
With an additional salary increase to that of 20,000. So it was already there, but we're just adding some more money to it.
Okay.
And it's in that line item.
Okay. Okay.
Is this where we would get rid of if we didn't want 5, we want 4, that's where we'd get rid of it?
This would be where we would want to talk about that.
And that's line, give me the,
12,006.
06, okay.
Yeah.
And
Brad, you tell us, okay, we were supposed to cut $800,000 today, and we've
Well, you just took,
we've not done anything that notable enough to
Yeah.
even get into. So
Well, you just
I don't
took-
know how many positions you've already promised to people, what kind of coverage you have, if we subtracted 1 versus 2, if you would prioritize the prosecutor's request, 1 or 2 of them over those, you tell me.
so currently, right now, at the courthouse, I have 3 full-time people working. Jay was one of them, he was already there, and then I've moved 2 over from the jail. So it's 3. I have 2 part-time people. One of those part-time people worked a total of 7 days in July, and the other one worked a total of 5. So it's somewhat unreliable on the amount of hours that they're going to be able to do. And so currently, because they are part of the jail and making it happen, I have 8 spots that I'm trying to fill for, that includes those court security, for the jail. And so that depletes my manpower for the jail, obviously. And so it's very difficult to continuously fill these spots. And so with that, there are still 3 spots left of those court security guys to actually fill. Okay. I guess my proposal would be is I'm willing to give up the 1, but once we get it full, I'm not going to be able to guarantee that I'm going to have somebody at the annex all the time, like we originally talked about. Because as the courts continue to grow, as things continue to get more volatile, with the domestic cases, the court is where the action's happening. That's where the security really needs to be.
annex is just a walkthrough, basically.
It's currently a walkthrough now, but in the talks back in the day when we started talking about these 5 was the idea of trying to maintain a person here all the time. But now currently it's they're walking through. Now, if I get more over there and I can get a more continual basis with the 4 and the 5s and some part-time, maybe the walkthroughs become more, or maybe, somebody can be stationed over here more often, but I can't guarantee that yet, if that's going to be the case.
Because if we looked back over the last 10 years, how many times has somebody called 911 for a non-medical issue at the annex? I mean, I would put my money on it. The answer is probably 0 or something close to it.
No, we've had some instances.
I'd say less than 10.
Yeah.
I had 2 in the assessor's office. once.
Yeah, and I had 2 Greenfield police in my office 2 different times.
Yeah, so,
Eddie's office.
Oh, because, Greenfield would respond.
Yeah, that's who responds.
Most of the time, if
Actually,
it's a
I have
911 thing, they'll dispatch the 911. It'll go out to everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever's closest will show up. If it's a non-emergency thing, generally we try to get a hold of courthouse security. They come over and try to
And they
deal
were-
with it. But it happens. I mean, it does happen.
Yeah.
Probably happens more often than you would think. Just people being upset. I mean, we got tax time. I know there have been a few times that there's been some people upset at the auditor's office on things. So I mean, it does happen.
Like at maybe the time when assessments go out or a time when tax collections start, maybe we use some of that part-time money, if there's a 6-week window where people are getting their bills or whatever, then maybe we use our part-time money.
Oh, you
to
can
bring
use part-time. That'd be great. I can do that. But I got to have the bodies to be able to put in that part-time.
Right.
That's what I don't have.
The bodies, yeah.
It is the bodies. That, it's just hard to find bodies to do that. And you just want just anybody.
Sure.
Well, Jim and I are retiring in 10
Yeah,
years.
you're.
You in a few months?
Part-time security
Part-time
right
security.
here.
Former counsel, now security.
Keep pulling this budget down, he won't have us covered at all.
I think it's though,
All you need is
don't
a
let perfect get in the way of good, that having more bodies over there will increase the number of walkthroughs here. It won't be security 8 to 4, but there will be a larger presence on campus, plus the response time. I mean, I know you can't pull them immediately from there, but I mean, if there was a 911 situation over here, they can run, one of them can run over here a lot quicker than a GPD officer could get here. So you're still improving the security here. You're not making it perfect.
911, Greenfield will respond.
Yeah, that's who responded last time I was in here.
Yeah.
And it will happen,
Greenfield
yes.
responds, because they're.
In an emergency, I would recommend in an emergency to call 911.
Yeah.
Evening too, so.
You can't rely on a court security guy because maybe they're tied up in court. They can be in a courtroom. They could be, all kinds of different things could be happening over there. So you don't want to rely on, hey, let's call over to court security and expect them to be here. Dial 911 and they'll get somebody here.
And we never call them over small things. We deal with people that are upset with us all of the time. It was when it got kind of scary.
Sure, no.
The button that's in the offices now rings into
Yeah,
911.
yes,
911.
yes.
Not
Yeah.
Greenfield.
No,
No,
right
but
to the dispatch
911
center.
will send Greenfield because they're closer.
It's just the jurisdiction. I mean, that's why. And if there's a county guy right here, they're going to come too. I mean, whoever's closest is going to come when 911 happens. So.
I'd like to see us cut that number by one.
Again, it's totally up to you. We'll work with what we got. I just can't guarantee that because what was going to happen was I was going to have somebody here 40 hours a week being in this building. If not, it's going to reduce that amount by a lot if it gets busier over there. So, and you also got to take the relief factor into it. If you put, 4 people over there, what happens when somebody calls in sick? What happens when somebody wants to take a vacation? Then those numbers start going down.
Somebody has surgery, that's a big one too.
Yes. So, there's those things that, you can't guarantee to say, okay, we've got 4 people, but they're going to be there.
They can't take vacation.
They can't take off, they can't do these, can't be sick, can't do any of that stuff. And so you got to take that into consideration as well. So I'm willing to try to do whatever helps to do it, but I just can't make guarantees on having somebody here like we wanted to all the time.
And we don't have anybody now.
And
Right
what's
now
the
we have
salary?
40.
We do walkthroughs.
What's the salary base for those 5 right now?
I don't have the matrix in front of me. It's about
144.
52, I think, on the, yeah.
You didn't put them in.
Is it on the
Whatever the lower end of the matrix, I don't have that matrix sheet.
56, 57, somewhere in the. At the end of the day, if you just put numbers to it, we have 40 hours of coverage. If we hire 4, that's 160 hours a week. It still doesn't solve all the security issues we'd like to solve, but just a lot more. It's a step in the right direction.
You're looking at about 55.
Around 55.
Yeah. Or the 55, 167.
Well, I guess maybe there's some confusion because I was trying to give up one of those to pay for the prosecutor that already got approved, not even necessarily the paralegal, unless he could give up 2 and swap them for 2. That was just what I thought we were talking.
Yeah.
Getting rid of 1 would be, and it's still that prosecutor's $30,000 more a year than this guy, but it's still 1 benefits package, $55,000 of it's covered. So if we gave up 1, that would cover most of Brent's prosecutor.
Well, but we took 72 out.
Yeah, we already took 72,000 out, or 72 something
70
now. Yeah, we already did
72,284.
Oh, for the SRO that you're moving to the.
Yeah, so that spot, yes, that 70,
Help
yes.
offset the.
So that comes out of the general fund, the 72,284.
I don't think we asked Gary about that.
We still got 800,000 to take
Did
out.
we?
I think you cut.
It's all running together.
We just cut $500,000.
We just cut $500,000 right now. Now
Well,
that could possibly come back with something,
Yeah, I mean, that should be pointed out, that yes, we cut $500,000, but that assumes that you're telling the sheriff, no, we're not gonna enhance the pension at all. And he couldn't get the data fast enough, but he asked the actuary to provide a breakdown of, the 1.483 was assuming we enhanced the death benefit, we moved retirement to 50, and we did 10 years of COLA. And we asked to please break down what each one of those benefits costs individually so we could decide on them. The actuary couldn't provide that in time for this meeting. So Brad will have that at the next meeting, and we still intended to talk about whether we want to spend any money on adding COLA. I think COLA was the most important one the sheriff's department was interested in, 10 years of cost of living adjustment. And I'm open to, I think that that's important too, to look at. So I don't want to look at like we just whacked 500,000 and that took care of most of our problems, because that's coming back.
You're right,
That's
yeah.
coming back for discussion next
Boomerang.
month. It'll just be more broken down in more detail when it comes back.
So are we talking about maybe taking one of the jailers
I haven't
out?
seen it. I don't know what, yeah.
Yeah, one courthouse security.
That's courthouse.
It's 55,000. Their benefits are elsewhere, not in that number.
Right.
And that's from the
So that'd make
2692,
that,
852.
37852.
And that's coming from the,
Yeah,
line
the
item
12, yeah, the
12006.
12006.
Yeah, okay.
Everything else okay?
Can't believe what we used to go. Didn't have any money.
Well,
We
I
subtract
would
them
move then
55,
the
167.
county jail operating be as submitted, except the line item 12006 would be minus 55,000. According to my figures, would make it 2637852.
26, say it again.
$2,637,852.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1001-0380. That's right.
I need to talk about something else before we go further, before that passes.
Okay, with the, as presented, with the exception that the line 12,006 be changed to 2,637,852. Any discussion, and that would include you, Sheriff?
Yes, so in 30016, that's the inmate housing payment. So I've reduced that. I've been reducing that over the few years. Obviously, that was considerably higher back in the day of housing inmates when we didn't have inmates and we were housing them in 4 other locations. So I've been progressively doing that. And so, but what's happened is, and it's happened just recently, we talk about juveniles and juvenile law, and we are starting to have a really bad problem with these kids in guns and having guns and shooting and armed robberies. And so I currently have one, I just found out yesterday, that was picked up here in Greenfield. That's being held in Johnson County on our charges. Marion County has charges as well. We're trying to get him moved to Marion County, but Johnson County juvenile, they're paid, it's $300 a day for me to house a juvenile there. That's $9,000 a month. So this budget of $10,000, 1 month.
What about in the commissioner's budget, and probation had pointed out, I thought we had 310,000 of secured detention. Is that different?
That's different. So
Okay.
that's the kind of like a contractual, I think they're using Delaware County maybe, or Madison County for some of those things. So those are actual juveniles. These are juveniles that's being direct waived into adult court based off their crimes. This is a little bit different. Those are the ones I end up, once they're waived as an adult, then I assume the payments for these individuals. So he's being waived, he's gonna be an adult, but he doesn't turn to adult till he's 18. He's 16 and a half right now. I don't know how long he's gonna be in Johnson County. I mean, if it's months at $300 a day, if he was in there for a whole year, you're talking $100,000. We hope to get him moved to Marion County.
Is Johnson the cheapest, or how?
Well, I don't think so. I don't know how that works. That's why we're trying to get him moved to Marion County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I asked that. I think
It's robbery. I think Johnson County's got some kind of monopoly. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't think it'll
They charge
net
so
out
much.
Yeah.
faster.
I get $42 from the state of Indiana to house an inmate when they're sentenced to DOC. I was getting charged $125 from Department of Corrections when we were housing juveniles there. How they're charging $300 a day is beyond I don't understand.
I think it's supply and demand.
Yeah. Well, and it could be.
Or if we build one to.
Honestly, when you get up
No,
to
it's
those
$300
rates, I did some cocktail napkin math a couple years ago, because you might remember Josh Sipes was here. He said he didn't have anywhere to send kids. He was having trouble, and we knew what we'd been paying. We had 3 that year that were on the hook for something serious, and we spent a lot of money that year on those 3. And I did some cocktail napkin math of, man, should we just build a juvenile detention center? But for what it would cost to run it 24/7.
The running is the problem.
It didn't work out, but we were only paying $100-something a day. At $300 a day, I'll bet you it does pencil out. And we've talked about pursuing a regional, right, juvenile
Yeah, that would
detention,
make
but I
sense.
don't know that we've ever escalated that conversation.
I mean, there have been discussions, and there were discussions when, we did the jail, back in the time, and there was a lot of costs associated to it. Nobody really wanted to be involved in it, because, running a juvenile center is, a lot more difficult, obviously. You got education, you got schoolwork, you got, it's just, it's got to be away from adults.
And I know you've explained to me, we're not locking kids in jail cells, it looks different.
It
operates
is somewhat different. They're dormitories, but it is a completely different animal.
And something like this,
In Tippecanoe County, we paused it a second time because it was gonna be 19 million of capital and 3.5 a year for 24 beds.
For 24 beds. Wow.
Somewhere along the line, somebody's going to have to step in, whether it's the state or something, because this is going to be out of control.
Yeah.
There is no place to go with these kids. And these crimes are not getting any, it's not the old runaways and, the thefts and, stealing bubble gum and all that stuff. It's serious stuff.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, the state's going to have to get on board with something. Because it's just going to keep getting worse, because you cannot find places to put these kids. And so these people like Johnson County, it's like, well, there's no place around, so we can charge what we want, which is the problem.
And it might be what they have to make it work. It might not be what they want
Yeah,
to
I don't
charge. It
know.
might be what it costs to put it together.
It just seems very excessive to me.
and you probably can't forecast what that is, so this may be something that we need to use food and beverage for.
And it may be, and so, we could leave that the where it is, because it's in general fund. Right now, I have $30,000 in there. I haven't used that really this year yet. But if he stays in there the next 3 months, I'm going to be coming to you probably in next month and asking for an additional, just to get it on the book, so it'll be available when it happens.
Is it realistic that he may still be there in 30 days?
Thanks.
We'll get him in Marion County. If Marion County decides they won't take him, yes.
He'll give Gary, if you leave it at 10, it'll give Gary a reason to come back.
The last thing on that, Brad, I did look into a little bit, tried to research whether adding a juvenile prosecutor was going to lower those costs by moving people through faster, or raise those costs because more juveniles are charged. And it looks like it would vary, right? You'll get people through the system potentially faster, but you might put more people in the system. Do you have an opinion from your experience on whether?
Well, I think it's going to be, obviously, it's going to be based on the number of people or number of kids that decide they want to come over here and commit crimes.
So you say come over here, so these are not typically local kids?
No, absolutely not.
No?
No. They're from Marion County.
We don't have local kids committing
Not these types of crimes. Now, I'm not saying they don't.
The detainee.
I'm not saying they won't or will, but because we have had some. The majority of what we're seeing is not local kids.
That's good to know.
They may have moved here.
Right.
Cheaper to build a wall. Are they local? Well, maybe now.
How long have you been here? Yeah.
But they're moving and they're coming in.
Proximity to Marion County is just increasingly getting
Yes.
more expensive for us.
How much does it cost to build a wall?
And so, so some of these kids, that are coming, that may be living here now, they already got a history in another county, Marion County probably mostly, of other crimes, but now they've moved. And now we're dealing with their crimes here, plus they're, obviously like this kid, he's got already pending charges in Marion County and has warrants. But they found him here with weapons.
Well, I'm going to recommend we keep appropriated money in food and beverage for this and call for the question.
Okay. We have the motion and second to approve 1001-030-0380 fund with that one, as submitted with the one exception. Line 12006, admin assist clerk, JCO maintenance. Change that number to $2,637,852. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Next fund, 1001-0700, which is for a total of $12,000, it looks like.
Comments on that one? No, I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve 1001-0700, law enforcement activity. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next fund is, I've got one that's not listed, but a paper for it, 1156 firearms training?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Write that in.
And that's an increase, because, firearms do get more expensive each year because of inflation, $228,000.
Yeah, so that money's from the state. That's what we get from the state. Used to be from gun permits, but since we don't do gun permits anymore, the state come up with a formula based off of the gun permits we used to get. And so it comes in annually, so it's.
All right, do you have a motion then,
So
Kim?
moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1156 firearms training. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. All right, next one, which is on the list, Fund 1170, Lloyd, Public Safety, County Share. Any discussion?
Greg?
So he's got a good number on that, not using things from heaven going to that fund, and it's not causing, at this point, the lit to go up. It can't go up much more than the 3,160,000, the 3,000,001 that I have.
166.
My question, Brad, QCC, that is for,
It's all medical, all our medical at the jail, contract.
okay, so our,
Doctors, nurses.
so our head counselor doing MRT, are they still covered by the grant?
So he works for QCC.
Yes.
But he's covered under the grant through ISA and CJIS. So
So is
that's
that-
not part of that.
Okay, the 35,000 in the notes doesn't have anything to do with
That-
him?
No, that's just an increase in, percentage increase on an annual basis from QCC for like salaries and things like that.
And there's no indication that any funding would be going down for the grant funding we use on that therapist?
No, I mean, I mentioned that, I think at the beginning of the year, just as, hey, if it would ever go away, it would cost about $120,000 to make up that. But there is no indication that that's going to go away. I've been in some meetings here recently that, we've talked about it. I don't think you'll see it go away for a minute.
Good.
Hopefully, you never know what the state's going to do, but.
On that same page above it, Sheriff Communications and Buildings Maintenance Repair, we noticed that they both increased 12,000 and 40,000 respectively.
Which one you on, Sheriff's Communication?
Sheriff Communications, 33,604, and 36,800 is Building Maintenance and Repair.
Yeah, so the 33,604 Sheriff Communications, it went up to 12,000 because of the SIM cards, the SIM cards in our body worn systems. We have to have SIM cards in our things that we didn't have to have before in order to download. So it's the SIM cards that's increasing that in that. The building maintenance, unfortunately, yeah, we're into a building 4 years old, and we're starting to see some things that are we're having issues with now. I may end up coming back here soon. I don't know. I went to the commissioners last month about some chiller issues I got going on. I mean, I just had to replace a $20,000 coil, a $9,000 compressor. I got some other stuff going on with them. So I don't have the funding for that. So I may be needing some additional money there. So I'm just increasing that because of last year. I mean, and I don't have the form with me. I wish I did. I appropriated a certain amount. So I appropriated last year the 80,000. But by the end of the year, I've transferred at least 40,000 from another line item into that to pay all the bills. It could have come out of fuel, it could have come out of medical, but we've transferred that amount in there. So basically, it's costing me that amount, and so that's why I'm putting it in there. You just don't see it at the beginning because you guys don't get to see what the transfers are. But we're transferring, some of these that go up, they're getting transferred into to pay them.
I'll move we accept Fund 1170 as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1170 as presented. Any discussion?
I may be the new guy and insert my foot in my mouth here, but I know we all know about fuel prices. We drive by them every day, but almost every department has a line item for fuel. We are looking for money to cut. When we cut that from 350 to 300, maybe monitor every department's fuel spending and know that we may have to appropriate more money come October, November in the year. But is that somewhere we can look to cut today, but know we might have, back to our boomerang, we might have to spend more? Who knows what's going to happen geopolitically, but at least, you know.
I would say that the biggest thing there is this isn't county general, this is public safety. So it doesn't go back to the pot that all the other concerns are coming out of.
Okay.
And I was going to say, do you have a contract? You don't do, who?
Which it's not really well, it is kind of a contract. We get.
Do you have a set rate or think?
We get wholesale price minus 5 cents off.
Okay.
So is what we get.
Yeah, sorry, that's right.
No,
This
fine.
isn't county general,
yeah.
so.
It'll take years to,
Yeah.
it takes years
don't have
to,
this book memorized
See, Clark,
yet?
there's a learning curve. You're okay, man.
Yeah,
Don't
you're-
worry.
yeah. No, you're coming up with good ideas. It's just.
Yeah, with the gas prices, yeah, that fluctuates, monthly between anywhere from a $26,000 to a $29,000 monthly bill. And so that puts it right at that, close to that 350. So you just never know where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
Well, one other point, I
Okay.
think Brad, you and I talked about the part-time. You had indicated, because I thought it was kind of interesting, 85,000 for only one employee or two employees of narcotics, but you had indicated that the part-time covered the courthouse.
Correct. Correct. It does. Trying to figure out where you're at.
Well, right above that in.
What number?
So he dropped it from 150 to 85.
So you dropped it to 150 to 85.
Yeah.
So the reason you dropped it was you won't have the part-time in the courthouse.
I don't have the part-time in the courthouse, correct, as much. I still have some, but based off of the number of hours that they're working, which is not very much, and we do have some part-time maintenance that we utilize as well. But that's really all the part-time that I have. So I was able to reduce that quite a bit.
Okay. Anything else? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fund 1175. Whoops, I skipped it.
I move that we accept Fund 1175 as presented.
Second. Oh, Keely, second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve 1175. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fund 1192.
Motion to approve 1192 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1192 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Fund 1230, motion carries. Fund 1234. I think they have a new jail navigator in this section.
They're both, they're both in there.
Two of them? Okay, two. Well, it's 142,000, yeah.
I did want to ask, so Greg, we've historically had the operations fund and we've had the capital fund. And those are coming together into one fund, correct?
And they're going to have to in order to fund this budget.
Yeah, so our operating, we talked about this with Greg, the jail operating budget, that portion of tax we're collecting for operations is not sustainable. But the state does allow you to combine, right, the capital and operational into one fund.
Correct.
And Greg says we will be doing that to sustain the operating expenses.
And Brad, that first line item, 12006,
Yes.
that's more than 3%, so there's something else in there. Oh, is that?
The matrix?
Matrix.
Yeah.
Matrix.
Matrix is different.
Okay.
On line item 12,500, the group insurance is like a 20% increase, 22% increase. Is there any control over that, or are you separate from what the commissioners do?
I don't know.
Added two navigators.
Yeah, we added
Yeah,
the
so
two navigators
navigators
to it,
probably.
yeah.
Cost an increase in the 9%.
Yeah, that would have been like a 10% increase for the 2 new hires,
Okay.
Well, I
plus the
move-
9% on what was
Plus the
there.
9% on top of that? Okay, that's
Yeah.
right.
I move we approve Fund 1234 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to approve 1234 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fund 4920.
I'll move that we approve Fund 4920 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to approve 4920 Sheriff Housing Hosting Agency. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'm making the sheriff a housing now. Hosting. All right, Fund 4921, the K-9 Police Dog Fund.
I'll move that we approve the K-9 Police Dog Fund 4921 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 4921, the K-9 Police Dog Fund as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fund 4922, the Law Enforcement Forfeiture Seizure.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented on Fund 4922.
Second. Give it to Jim.
You said Jim could be second. All right. We have a motion and a second to approve Fund 4922 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, Fund 4923, Miscellaneous Donation Fund.
Motion to approve Fund 4923 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 4923 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fund 4925 is Shop with a Deputy.
So Brad, this is one where when we start putting together Form 4Bs and whatever, having 40 and 40 or 80,000, when you spend 7,200, probably about 7,200, should we not right-size those to a better, lower number?
We can do that.
Like 20.
We can do that, but I mean, it's just gonna come back into our additional appropriation if we spend it. But you only spend what you got in it.
Yeah.
So what we seize,
As
and we
it
never know
comes
what
in.
we're gonna seize anytime during the year. You know,
But again, 40 seems so high.
on
Fund
Shop with the deputy?
4925.
Yeah.
the 40s, I mean, that's what we have in there. I mean, that's what we have in that fund. That one's different than the other ones, the seizure fund. That one, we have, I don't know what the balance is in it, but it's high in the
So
balance.
you have cash.
Yes, yes. It's a donation
Yeah.
fund,
Okay.
that we have a checkbook that we write with and stuff. So
Okay,
it's-
if you've
it's-
got cash, then.
Yes, it's cash, yes.
I move we approve Fund 4925 as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve
I want you to.
Fund 4925. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fund 8629.
The reason why we can't do 8629, 8913, 8914, 8915 altogether?
Well, I guess just to double check with what Greg just pointed out, these are all funds that don't spend much. Do they all have these balances?
They don't have the balances, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is if we get a seizure, and, you know, it's a $120,000 seizure, then I gotta come back in and I have to appropriate that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if I leave it at an amount that's substantial
You
enough,
don't have to come back in.
I don't have to come back in.
Estimate.
So I only can spend what's in there, and we can see what's in there. We know what we have in there to spend.
Right.
And we can't spend any more.
Set in the
He has
bar.
50,000 in there and
yes.
he's only got 20. He can.
That's why I don't have
spend
to
20.
for
Well,
additional.
to Greg's point, is that okay, Greg, like, as far as the state's concerned, for us to appropriate an amount that's not in there?
Here's what be really good if Mary was able, and Mary and the sheriff was able to give us those cash balances for each of those miscellaneous funds, and we just look at it on August 8th.
Okay.
Okay. And if we see something with $100 in it, we're trying to do 40, then, you know, we might have a.
Because I get the sheriff's
Won't
point
know
about
until
not
you
wanting
get
to
your
come back
seizure
when he has it and not being able to
established,
spend it
correct?
without it,
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry.
You won't know until the seizure.
We don't know. I don't know any.
So you get it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones that we were talking about where there were cash.
Yeah, like, so this, yeah.
But I move we accept 8629, 8913, 8914, 8915, 8929, and 9113. We accept the, as
Second.
presented.
I have a motion to approve funds 8629, 8913, 8914, 8915, 8929, and 9113 as presented.
discussion.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Greg, when you suggest that we right-size these, is it because the state looks poorly on approving them in this method, even though the money won't be spent if it's not there? Or what is the downside?
So it's just, so the state, we have to come up with revenue equal to what we're trying to appropriate. Otherwise, you've got a non-balanced budget. So we have to artificially make it work, okay? So that's the point.
And we already don't have revenue to support the rest of the budget.
Well,
We have cash balances to support.
If you did get 125,000, you still need to come in additional appropriation because you only have 50.
Yeah, but I can do 80.
Yeah.
Right.
So, right, they're to 50 in the current year.
Huh?
As equal budget. So that's it. We're artificially making revenue meet the expense appropriation.
From other funds?
No.
Well, how will we do that? If the money's not there, how do we make the?
Call it miscellaneous revenue, which is meaning you're hoping you're getting it.
And are you advising against, and you're advising against it? I just want to do what's right.
It'd be really nice if we could just right size it, keep it reasonable. You're here. If it's too high, let's bring it down. Too low, we can raise it, you know. But let's take a look. We're not taking a look at all these miscellaneous funds about what the cash balance is.
Right. But I'm going to have to come in, so if I wanted to spend it, I'm going to have to come back in for the additional. If I get more.
Within these parameters.
That's what I'm saying, is I'm trying to eliminate having to keep coming in here to spend it by doing additionals.
We're not making you, we're making Gary Aker come.
Yeah, you remember.
You won't even
You're
be
not
here
gonna
by
be
the time
here.
this happens.
I'm just saying, for 16 years, this is the way we've done it, and so.
I understand.
And it's
I'm just-
worked.
But you're also asking, in some of these cases, just law enforcement expense. So county councils really kind of giving you carte blanche, you know. So if you do, some councils are like, yes, we want to know through the additional appropriation process what you're spending the money on. And so there's that check and balance too.
Well, and I guess my concern is more how it looks. If we say every year we're gonna get 100,000 miscellaneous revenue and then we don't, what does that look like?
In your cash.
Looks like that account.
Okay, well, you can call for the question.
Call for a question? Okay. Do I need to do a roll call or? Okay. We have the motion to approve funds 8629, 8913, 8914, 8915, 8929, and 9113 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against say aye.
Aye.
So it's 5-2.
And who was this? Keely was a no?
I'm a no. I
I'm
would
a
follow
no.
Greg's recommendation.
Yeah, I'm following his reputation too.
Well, but that still doesn't mean we can't look at it. And
Right.
the budget doesn't get advertised for another 2 months.
Let's just, some of these are reimbursable grants.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you have to spend it and then reimburse for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the last few there,
Way too big a deal.
there's only 3 that are seizure funds.
I think that's, other than CCD, I think that's it. So if you want to go to CCD.
We can talk about it.
Got the auditor.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about him.
Gotcha.
I mean, I still have like the auditor, everybody up here, auditor, counselor,
Put one in and make a fizz.
auditor again, because she just wants to talk. Budget meeting, auditor some more, approve the main minutes, then auditor business.
I love how we were gonna cut $2 million a day and we've cut nothing.
No, the auditor doesn't have $2 million to cut.
Well, that's what we're cutting.
Whatever you got, we'll cut it.
Whatever you got, we want it.
Deborah.
Rebounded today.
Yeah.
Are we moving on to the auditor? Is that what you said?
No, CCD.
CCD,
Oh,
sheriff
sheriff,
section.
CCD. Yeah.
Because we haven't finished CCD yet.
Okay, so.
We done?
We talked about CCD. Go back to CCD for him. You said,
I want him to make it.
We said, we
you
were
said
gonna,
120 of the 285 drones would be new expense and about 165, and we're rounding here, is the current expense.
Correct, yeah.
on the vehicle expense can come out of the RDC line item, I think we said, didn't we?
I think he's already got that spoken for, don't you, Brad?
Oh, it was the maintenance, or the
SRO.
vehicle equipment, not
Well,
the
vehicle-
vehicles. The 100,000.
Yeah, the vehicle equipment, which is in here, it's at 44,302. It's in here.
We could,
It's in also on RDC as well.
Yes.
But we also had the conversation you had was, can we say we can pay for all of them out of that? Because this is to be for all the vehicles and all the equipment that we would need for all the cars. Not a percentage of.
you need more than 100,000 in 2027 for equipment.
I don't know. I mean, it fluctuates depending on what we get. I mean, I total a car, I mean, new equipment. I mean, I just, will I spend all that? Maybe not.
This is to replace equipment that has
It's either new equipment,
life expectancies out, or it's broken,
Something
or
broke,
something to
or-
that.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so there's
it all-
hard
yeah.
number that applies to that line item.
yes.
It's an estimate.
Do we know, Greg, by the end of 2026, if we expend the full 2026 CCD budget, what the balance will be come January 1st ballpark on CCD? And then when we look at, we know that the anticipated revenue is 1.2 million less than this. If we cut nothing from CCD, revenue is 1.2 million less. So at January 1st, we need to have more than 1.2 million left in CCD at the end of this year to be able to pay for it.
Right, so the sustainability shows 1.8 million at the end of 26, if we 26. Where you're going to end up right after 27 is that CCD is going to support sheriff and IT and everybody else.
Okay. But if we don't make cuts in CCD today, by the end of 2027, we're basically, the fund balance is
963, maybe.
maybe
Yeah, 9,000.
left. And then going forward, the revenue will only support the sheriff and IT.
Yes, because we've got revenue going down because CCD is a fixed tax rate. If AV goes down, revenue in that fund goes down, so we've got it going below 2 million per year in 3 years.
Does that count for anything that's not spent in that year, that's carried over?
No, sir, I'm just talking about the revenue side.
Carries over.
As AV goes down, that tax rate is not automatic, it's 3.33 for the last 25 years. It's an outdated rate, so it will not keep up.
And we set the rate, or the state sets who sets the rate?
State.
The state.
Statute.
So is there any discussion about reviewing
I
that?
brought it up several times, but, they've had so many things on their plate, Mary, because it's 5 cents for cities, and it's 3.33 cents for counties, which to me is unfair, but they say they have lower AV, I say we have larger expenses, as a county as a whole. So, I think they're just gonna wait for you to get to $3 and say, you worry about it with your lid.
Really?
Yep.
And I think, when we think about that, like, for example, the 3 cars the commissioners have, I mean, what Greg's saying is, after next year, no, you cannot pay for those cars out of here. After next year, there's other people with vehicle leases in here that there won't be funding for. there's a lot of like furniture and office equipment, 1,000, 2,000, that's whatever, you know? But as far as big expenditures we want to take note on, like we talked about kicking that tornado siren a year, but stuff like that, there won't be room after next year.
Well, we went to
Well, let me
doing
ask a
a
question.
fly every year on
What-
the pictometry.
What if we cut
And it's
that
in here.
vehicle equipment to
Instead of doing
50,000?
every 2 years, now it's.
And that
Yeah.
would give you
That's in here, it's.
potentially,
Gonna have to do that, though.
300?
I think so.
I was trying to
Unless
make-
I'm thinking of it.
that would potentially give you 50,000 on the
200
outside and
235,000
100,000 on the inside of RDC. So you'd have 150,000 instead of 200,000.
So what you're thinking is go to
Yeah, I don't need
every
200,000.
2 years again, like we
No, I
used to do
know.
it?
Actually, the 100,000 is fine, because right now,
It's stupid.
I just have the 100,000. It's in RDC.
Right, but there was 100,000 in
And
the
she asked for
CCD.
more.
Because I put that there because I didn't know whether or not I was gonna allow it in RDC. So it can go away. That whole 100 can go away.
Yeah,
As
so-
long as it's
It's in there.
available in RDC.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Okay, so 100K can go. The drone, the extra 120K for the drone, how bad do you need it in that 285?
I mean, there again, it's the future of
Because
public
it's an
safety.
ongoing expense, right?
It's gonna be an ongoing expense, and I think you're gonna keep seeing more of it as we start
But
seeing.
that's a saddle, that's a portable, that's not a station.
The 120 is a station.
Adding another one in the station.
Yeah, but it's a better version of what we currently have. It flies 6 miles versus a 2-mile radius. So it's an upgraded system. But we can.
170 of that line item is ongoing.
165.
Correct.
165 is ongoing.
100
Currently, 165 is ongoing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that part of it is set.
So
So you could take 120 technically.
Yeah.
off of it.
that doesn't give you any,
And
like I
if we
said,
wanted to do it, well,
changes.
you could do it in food
Doesn't give you any
beverage,
additions.
if you wanted to do it.
Don't give you any more. Can't get deputies.
Pointing out.
You gotta have technology.
Well, and then
No-
something we
no
didn't,
No benefits.
what's that?
You don't have to pay benefits on a drone.
True. And I'm looking through the whole CCD here.
Then tornado, the Homeland Security, we could do
The tornado.
the one siren, well, they said eliminate it this year.
Well, can I ask,
that car at?
in the CCD fund,
47,000.
45101, under miscellaneous building expenses, it's $80,000. Is that you guys? Is that the commissioners?
What is it?
$80,000 for miscellaneous building expenses, line item it's under facility maintenance, and it's building expenses. None of that would be anything that would fall under the bond?
Maintenance can be covered under, your 20, almost every one of your bonds
That's about it
It's,
that I see.
in there.
Okay, well, there's just, there's $80,000 under miscellaneous building.
Where's that one at?
It's under fund,
Facility maintenance,
facility maintenance,
In CCD?
yes, and CCD. It's 0071 is the location number.
It's on
You
page
got a
4,
list?
I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Down to the bottom.
So is it,
It's actually on page 5.
Corrections.
that's a
4 and
fund,
5.
I was just
Fund
wondering
that-
if that's something that the bond could take over.
say my chiller I'm having problems with, the
Probably some of
$20,000
it and some of
coil,
it
the
not. It's
$9,000, would that be something that would be paid out of if you had it? Or would that be something that would come?
Because they were gonna see if it was better for them to buy the existing car. that they-
It's come from somewhere, whether it's.
Then like the line item.
Oh,
what-
see, you can cut it out.
Yeah, for sure.
county building.
Yeah.
So,
Versus, I think a bond on those is specific to certain things, like windows.
I mean,
Where is the car?
Except for the 2021.
There's cars all over the place.
The sheriff's
Is,
car.
it says
Sheriff's part of this
building
budget.
maintenance.
Lease payment?
Well, and you also have
I'm so sorry, I
75,000
was
for
talking about
equipment
cookies.
under facility maintenance
there
that
it is.
could possibly be under the bond.
Yeah, because you had room left in that bond. because the fairgrounds was not included. The last we had talked about that, there was some room left in that bond. The fairgrounds was not gonna get any, so you think you could,
There was no room left in that
I didn't think so.
2026.
That's why they took it out.
so for the 80,000,
The only way that we would come up with any, money left out of that, we're looking at using maintenance money from the 2021 to do maintenance projects at community corrections. We have $100,000 set to, do maintenance to the memorial building. So there's the only place that we could actually save any money if we don't do a lot of maintenance to the memorial building. If we can get offices over, we're thinking if we can get offices over at community corrections, it is ADA accessible, and there's an elevator there to take them down to offices in the building. If we can get people out of the memorial building in time, then we could actually not have that expense.
Are you gonna sell the building?
We can't
it's
sell
going back to the
it.
bank.
It goes back to
back to the
Greenfield
bank.
Banking. As long as it's a memorial building, we get it. We just have to maintain it.
Gotcha.
But ADA accessible, it's just not really suited for that.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's in a floodplain.
for sure.
So this $80,000 for facility maintenance,
Yeah.
you're saying you don't have any room to
I
pay
have
that?
nothing in that bond. We have nothing in that bond that we can say that we can save any money out right now. I have left it as if I can come up with some money, that'll be fine. If we save money somewhere, we could use it elsewhere.
Okay. Okay, so just to recap on CCD, we talked about removing $100,000 under vehicle equipment for the sheriff, knowing that that's in the RDC. We talked about,
120 out of drone.
it's still on the table if we want to reduce the drone line item by 120,000 and not add another station drone.
Or at least from CCD.
From CCD anyway. We could discuss it at another time from another place if we really wanted to do it. We talked about reducing the coroner's equipment from 145,000 to 117,500. Unless anyone planned to just ixnay their vehicle requests altogether.
Yep.
And then we talked about,
The cars for
What about
the
the
community corrections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a $50,000 line item for a motor vehicle, and she was supposed to go back and look at her residual amount to purchase the lease as opposed to buying a new vehicle.
yeah, we could take that out because even if she comes back about buying that car, we don't have to buy it out of CCD, or we can do an additional appropriation and still buy it out of there without putting it in the
Yeah,
27
I agree.
budget.
I agree.
So we'll remove that. I don't even,
What about tornado siren? He mentioned tornado siren.
0383.
They said they would forego that for a year.
Yeah. the
That's
tornado-
what, 47?
okay,
Yeah,
so
it's 47.
minus that.
Could we stop for just a second to do a recap, because I'm hearing different conversations.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure I don't miss anything.
It'll be in the
I didn't
motion.
make a motion. I was
Okay,
recapping
okay,
also.
Okay, thank you.
I was trying to make sure I had it all. It's nothing close to the 1.2 we talked about getting out of here, but
So on page one, have we
But it's
removed
just that.
anything?
345,000.
yes.
On page one?
Oh, no.
So let's go
I
through.
do remember. The other thing I wanted to ask,
Page one.
Yeah, page one down here.
there was another one in
CCD.
here.
So with these two,
Taking those out?
we took that out and that's gone.
What do you got?
Yeah, what do you got, before I bring up this one?
Page one, a vehicle equipment under the sheriff.
Oh, yeah, 100.
That's a zero.
And then the
Under the
405 is 165.
And then,
It's 100, how much?
Yeah.
It's 165?
well, I had one more clarifying question before I do a motion.
Okay.
In the prosecutor's budget, we have a lease up in November/December, 13,600 next year. Again, this, as Greg just mentioned, cannot sustain a lease payment for more than a couple of years in CCD. So do
What
we,
page are you on?
I'm sorry, I'm on page 3 of the CCD budget.
Start, we just did one, let's go to 2, and then we'll go to 3, and then we can make sure we got everything that works. Then we can discuss that when we get to page 3.
Oh, yeah, was there anything except the coroner's equipment on page 2?
No, that's the only thing I had, but then at least we know one and 2 are done.
Okay.
There's
Now-
some people like to get rid of the flock camera cost.
Yeah, and then we'll go to,
FYI.
Until you're a victim.
I
until you're a
know,
victim, they wanna get rid of
I
it.
get both sides of that coin, but I think it solves more problems than it causes.
yeah, so now we'll do page
Right.
3.
So page
See,
3, my
they get-
They get
question,
all concerned about the Fifth Amendment.
3.
my
I'm clear.
question on page
Believe me, I'm
3 is the
Let's get outta here.
prosecutor's motor vehicle. This says that their lease is up in November or December. I don't know if that means this year or next year. But if it means this year, and this is a line item to create a new lease, this fund cannot sustain a new vehicle lease.
So,
for the
so on
duration.
those leases, because I've got several, just because it says the lease is up in November or December, you can buy those out at any time. You don't have to wait till that's up.
true.
'Cause it's all based off the RBV of what that is. And so I have on mine, I have some that I bought out before the lease is actually up. And so you don't have to continue to pay the lease. You just buy what you got left into it and be done. But like I know on ours, like our trucks, if it's a pickup truck, and generally we're getting more for the pickup trucks on resale than we are when we bought them to start with
Yeah.
60 or 70,000 miles on them.
Yeah.
And all that goes back into the fund, minus $400 of fees that they do to make the transaction. So we get that back, and we're usually getting more back than what we actually paid for it on a resale. If it goes commercial, if it goes to the market, if it goes to the open market.
Okay.
But, I know we had 2 trucks. I bought one out of commissary for like 6,000. I think the commissioners bought a truck for maybe 10. I'm not sure who, I think, drug court ended up with that one, by doing that. So you can buy those out, ahead of time. And all they do is they just figure on where you're at and how much was left and you pay.
Yeah,
But you gotta have a
and
line
then the
item with
residual.
money to buy
Yes.
it out.
That's all you have to do.
So, okay.
So we'll
three's
just,
nothing. Right.
I guess we just do nothing, but it's worth noting that if that's a new lease, it's not sustainable.
Got everything on
Page
page
4.
3.
There's no-
I think so.
Page 4. I don't have anything written on page 4.
Page 5.
You had.
I don't have anything.
Well, it's mainly, they're going to pay
There's an AED.
some of this out of the bond.
The Bernie said no. He said there was no crossover between his CCD and the bond, so that wasn't, no crossover.
Okay, so that's page 4.
So nothing there. Page 5, the miscellaneous building expense we just talked about, but Gary does not know if he has that money elsewhere. So we can leave it and he'll try to pay it elsewhere.
You know, under building department, motor vehicles, is that maintenance or is that a payment or what is that doing? That's a lease payment?
So new reassessment.
That is for the flyover that they're
Yeah.
going to start doing annually due to the change in legislation about.
Increase.
And I think it also has to do with GIS, because they use that also for all the new buildings that are going up and addresses and the 911, like he was talking about earlier, trying to find those boundaries. So I think it was, the assessor and John made that request to do it more frequent, based on some of the other departments' needs as well.
It's an increase of $115,000.
Like I said, they also wanted it more detailed, kind of an advance of what we already have.
Okay.
Which they'll need now that
Six,
it's hard to go on the property.
Okay.
115,000?
There's nothing on page
115,000 more than your whole.
Oh, it's all zeros. We like that.
The tornado siren can come out.
Yeah, page 7 minus tornado siren.
That 47,000 is a no.
He said he could put it off.
1 year.
Yeah.
And then motor vehicles for community corrections, we talked about taking that out. She'll
Yeah.
come back with her buyout option and we can explore that elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then,
That's it.
I don't think we questioned John about,
Which page are you on now?
it's bottom of page 8, the 911. I don't think we questioned John Jacanis on his 65,000.
I did, and they were legitimate.
You verified all that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then I'll,
unfortunately.
Talk to him
I'll
too.
make a motion if everybody's okay with that. And
that's
you
fine.
guys follow along and say something if I do it wrong. I'll make a motion to approve Fund 1138 cum cap with the following amendments: the subtraction of $100,000 in the sheriff's section for vehicle equipment, the reduction of $120,000 in the drone line item, a reduction in the coroner's equipment request down to $117,500. A reduction in
Instructions.
Shooting attorney.
the tornado siren line item, a reduction of $47,000. And in the community corrections section, a reduction of $50,000 under motor vehicles. And that's my motion.
$344,500 or something.
Second. Call for the question.
I have a motion and a second on Fund 1138.
Gary, do you have a comment?
Do we have any discussion? If you have a discussion, come to the microphone. People can't hear you on the. I'm done.
I think that 47,000 for that siren, he was gonna take that to buy the truck after the lease. If I'm not
Mark
mistaken.
Elder, he came up here today and he said he can live without that tornado siren for
This
now.
year, but he's gonna take the money and actually buy that truck because the lease is up in December. I can verify that.
Yeah, just since I talked to him afterwards, he didn't specifically say that, but part of being new, he realized just the other day that his lease was up. So I
Yeah.
think whether it's here or there, he's going to need money to buy out that lease.
Yeah, I asked him to come back with the cost of his buyout.
Sure,
Correct.
it's not that.
So we would have to eliminate this anyway, so, and he would add it in as another line item.
Yeah,
So,
that was my understanding.
It won't
He come
go
up and
under
talked to me about it,
siren
so.
expense.
Oh, okay.
okay.
We can buy it out with the 21.
Take it out.
I still call for the question.
We're ready.
Okay, well, I think Keela is looking something up. Are you
No.
you good? Okay.
Good.
I have a motion on the table to approve Fund 1138 with the following changes. Vehicle equipment under sheriff, line 44302, 100,000 to become zero. 44405 drone to go from 285,000 down to 165,000. For the coroner section, coroner equipment from 145,000 down to 117,500. Then under the Homeland Security section, 44317 tornado sirens, the 47,000 becomes zero. And then under Community Corrections section, motor vehicles, 44800, we go from 50,000 down to zero. That is the motion that's been presented and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Oh, human. That takes care of that, and now we are done all the way up to auditor, who is 40 minutes behind.
That's all
Hey,
right.
I think that's well better than we were sitting last year, 40 minutes behind.
I move we approve the auditor as presented.
I told you.
Did you do the 3% correct?
I did.
I told you that's what would happen.
And the auditor double checked it.
Oh, the auditor, you mean the new, next
We
auditor?
double checked.
And the newer auditor and the new
All right, do I have a
bookkeeper
second?
double- and triple checked.
All right, I have a motion and a second for the general fund for auditor Kent Fish seconded. Motion was done by Shelby. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, Fund 1181.
I move we approve Fund 1181 as written.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1181 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, now we're down to council funds for approval. Let me go.
So moved.
Can
Hold
we-
on a second.
Can we, we should do them all. I'll second it.
Hold on. On 1112, I had some questions about the Penzi Trail, and Gary's here. I know you guys denied it, so I'm kind of curious why there's money. I mean, not you, but the commissioners, I'm sorry. Commissioner McDaniel, the commissioners. No, you were one of the commissioners. I want you, but I know the commissioners. So the Penzi Trail right-of-way and design expenses for 2027 have gone up to
Are you on
350,000.
CCD?
No, we're on.
1112.
Council funds.
Council funds. We didn't know where you were.
And it's the Penzi Trail.
But if you want to cut from CCD, we can always go back.
Find it first.
Yeah, go to the council tab.
Well, Gary Poole just pointed out that we get 80% of that back, and it's to complete, I think, a mile of that trail.
But I know that the commissioners just voted recently not to fund.
Oh.
No.
No. Are you listening to Facebook or what?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't ever believe Facebook.
I know.
Scott's smart.
When the decided not to purchase one piece of ground, we've never denied purchase. We just chose to do something else besides that piece of ground.
Oh, okay.
The ground is still available.
That they can buy with money that's not from the county, is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know that they can, but I mean, we would end up buying that at an 80-20 split probably.
What is it you declined
It
interest
was
in
out
doing?
of 300, I think, was out east.
The restroom.
Okay, so there's two
Well,
parcels.
We did deny to allow the vault restroom to be put out there
Okay.
Those fancy bathrooms.
because of security reasons.
Right.
That-
It's, that's just something to maintain, I get it. So this first line in lit economic development that says 350,000 and reimbursed to 80%, this is something the commissioners are endorsing funding?
We probably would. I can't say that we can because I don't have it in front of me, but at the same time, we
that is
always
grant.
purchase land for the trail.
Okay.
I can't even say how much we still have a spot left out between 300 and 400, the creek there to go over that creek. So I know that's still available there.
Gary Poole would have been the one
Yes.
to
To put this in
recommend
here?
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and if it says 80% reimbursement, that means it's one of his federal DES grants.
Okay.
Because they're all 80/20.
Okay, so that whole section
Yeah.
is, except miscellaneous, is all put in by Gary.
Yes.
He believes 80% reimbursement.
Steinmeier, yes.
Well,
Roundabout
not all
300.
of it now. 39,801 would be our dues for HEDC.
That's
So
a
I'd like
zero.
to see us put 10,000 in there.
Oh, it says zero.
10,000.
It says zero.
You're wanting to
I'm
add,
saying
you're wanting to put
10,000.
10,000.
You want to
Right.
put 10,000 in, right, Jim?
We
Got it.
give them they have almost $1 million coming out of that 5% that,
I know.
so
This is just-
no.
It's just,
That'll have to be its own motion to die
Following-
by itself.
just
That's what I keep trying to say. Nobody's-
following the rules so that Gary can go to meetings.
Oh, if they
That's not
start,
what we pay for.
yeah.
Become a.
We pay plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pay plenty already. That I'm not seeing, we get no reports about, we get no feedback from. I have no idea what they are doing over there.
Well,
And we
if,
give
if
them a
we
lot of money.
follow their rules and we want to be a member, we're supposed to pay dues.
Well, they can take that out of our $1 million
Is it-
that we're giving them.
Are the dues 5,000 for each person?
Right.
That's for
Right.
business
Right.
owners.
Right.
Yeah, that's for the.
That's the pay to play
Doesn't that
amount.
get
That's not our
taken
amount.
care of out of economic development?
That's what she's saying. that
That's
we're
where it's
giving
come
them
from.
$750,000 already.
Yeah.
Forever.
They're sitting
Why
on $1
she had
million.
to pay another 20?
Why should we have to pay?
Yeah, no.
That ought to buy us a seat.
Yeah,
Or
well,
two.
that should buy us a seat at the table. That we
Or all
approve.
the seats.
They wouldn't.
All the seats.
It's the way, we're kind of throwing our nose at their rules.
That's okay.
No, we're just asking them to look, when the rules put in place, we were not doing the 5% cost savings. We approved the cost savings.
I hear you. I'm just saying they
That-
have rules.
Then they can
and
ergo
so
the $10,000 because we're giving them the
thumbing our nose at 'em.
$350,000 a year. That's what I'm saying.
Motion?
No.
I'll make
No,
a
there hasn't been a motion made
motion
yet.
to approve Fund 1112 as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and second to pass Fund 1112 as presented. Any discussion? All right, we'll do a roll call.
Okay, so, Councilmember Shelby
No.
and Councilmember Bertram
Yes.
and
It's
Councilmember
the only time I'm
Louder.
going to disagree with you today.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Councilmember No,
Yes.
Councilmember
Frankie
Fisk,
Dink.
In support of Councilmember Shelby, no.
Yeah.
and Councilmember Smith.
I'm voting no, and I will tell you if there's anything you want to know from HEDC, we will get the information and be
Well-
happy to relay that, so.
And Councilmember Wooldridge.
No.
So, I have one,
Yes, he doesn't have a budget
4
then.
noes and 3 yeses.
All right, so
Make a motion that we accept Fund 1112 with the exception of line item 39801 would be $10,000.
I'll second that.
all right, I have a motion and a second on the table for Fund 1112. With the one change of
It's ridiculous.
39801 to be added to $10,000. Any discussion? I'll do a roll call.
Okay, Councilmember Shelby. Councilmember Bertram.
No.
Councilmember Louder.
No. No.
No.
Yes.
Fisk,
Yes.
and Wooldridge.
No.
Okay.
Member Wooldridge, before we make
I do
another
not
motion,
like-
what do you not like?
I don't like a lot of this budget. It's like it was all said, it's a council funds, and yet we didn't write it. And it bothers me. I'm sorry, it just bothers me.
What do you not like in it?
Well, I just rather have
projects?
sat down and gone through every item and looked at every item and saying, okay, why are we doing this amount? Why are we doing that amount? It just bothers me a
That's
lot.
why we did the $10,000 conversation and see where that got us.
Well, it's the other things, not the 10,000.
He doesn't care as
I
much
don't-
about that.
One way or the other, it's everything
He
else.
wants to break down all these projects.
Yes.
And these were presented by Gary Poole, is
And
that
he's not
correct?
here right now, and he didn't get, and I've never gotten a chance to talk to him about
Do
it.
you want to table this
That-
Fund
I would-
1112?
yeah, we can table it to-
Until August?
Yeah, let's do a motion for that.
I would make a motion, we table 1112 until August, till we have time to research it.
Put that on there.
All right, I have a motion and a second to table Fund 1112 to August meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same side. Motion carries.
Okay, could we have the first and second on that again?
Unless somebody wants to get on board with no HEDC money, and then we can get right around Scott Wooldridge.
I'll move that we accept Fund 1186 as written.
Do those all at the same
You want
time,
to-
since there's no money.
That's
Is there
500
anything
for
else-
emergency.
is
We're
there
going to have an
anything-
emergency at some point in time.
Right, but is there anything else on this fund list that we need to talk about?
Well, I was going there next. Get this one out of the way.
Okay, I'll second 1186.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve Fund 1186. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, 1233 through and including 4637, we will, if you approve preliminarily, subject to our reconciliation with the debt schedules that we will do between now and August 8th. And so there may be minor changes, but it will be matching the debt schedules.
Okay, so moved that I'll make a motion pursuant to the debt schedules that Greg spoke about. So that is 1233, 4618, 4620, 4622, 4630, and 4632.
And 4637.
4637.
Thanks.
Second?
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the funds that were just read by Mr. Fisk. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. All right, next up is the 4913 jury pay fund.
All right, done.
Forgot two more.
And you got more
Yeah,
things.
we got two
my
more.
book.
Oh, you gotta do the minutes too.
And we got a lot of things.
I'll make a motion that we accept the jury fund pay
Okay.
as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the jury pay fund of 4913 as presented. Any discussion?
Yeah, I hate to do it, but I do want to discuss, so we don't anticipate those revenues, right?
I'm so sorry, I can't hear you.
The jury pay fund, do we actually anticipate receiving $60,000?
There's no
right?
revenue for it.
No, because the state does not collect enough for what we pay out in jury pay, jury mileage, jury meal. We always have to shore it up with food and beverage.
By the end of the year.
Yeah, but I thought we decided the last time we shored it up that we were just gonna start budgeting for it, didn't we? Which would not be here because there's never the revenue to pay it. Am I remembering that right?
I think I remember some of that, that would have to be in the food and beverage. Or general.
Yeah, and I don't know that,
Shouldn't jury pay fund should be in the jury pay fund?
I think maybe the difference could be paid from another fund, but the fees go in here.
Yeah.
They can't be moved to another fund.
no, I know that, but
Okay.
we don't actually expect to receive $60,000, right? And so then, therefore, we don't actually expect to pay $60,000 out of this fund. So to Greg's point earlier, should we right-size this number with what we actually get?
Well,
knowing that we pay it elsewhere every year anyway.
Yeah, we pay more than we receive.
I think without knowing what that number is, that we just kind of have to.
Well, that's why I asked if this is close. I just want to make sure it's something
no
in the
idea.
neighborhood.
How do we know?
So do the 60,000 approval subject to the review of the revenue, and we can come back with that on August 8th.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the jury pay.
I think that was already done.
Yeah, Rob.
Okay.
We were just, I asked, that's discussion.
Yeah,
I asked for
discussion, yeah. Yeah, if you can let us know.
I seconded it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, Fund 7201, Food and Beverage Tax.
So why is the miscellaneous expense a third of what it was last year?
We had included 500,000 for the fairground because we knew we'd make that payment in
Last year.
January to them.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve Fund 7201 as written.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve 7201 as presented. Any discussion?
Didn't we just talk about including something in food and beverage a little bit ago?
Yes, jury pay.
I thought there was something else earlier that we said. There was, I wrote it down somewhere in here that we were gonna pay it out of food and beverage.
Probation supplements in here.
No, there was something else
Okay.
today.
We can pay it anytime out of food and beverage. It doesn't have to be in the budget.
Wrote it down too. but I
Okay,
can't
well, just
tell you
know
what
that
it was.
somewhere today, we said we were gonna pay something out of food and beverage, and I wrote it in this big book somewhere,
Well,
and it's
Jim
not.
had said it was $100 and some thousand for something, and Jim said to pay it
Yeah.
out of, and,
We could take it out of there, like the drones,
no.
some other
it was,
thing.
Something for the sheriff?
It was well over $100,000,
Don't
so.
plan on
Here it
anything.
is. It was in E911.
Oh.
And it was for software.
Software for 911.
Call these places.
For $150,000.
150,000.
That's right.
Okay, I'll make a motion, you don't have a motion on the floor
We
yet.
have a motion and a
We have a
second.
motion and a second.
But we need, all right, well, we need to
Who made
amend
the
it.
motion?
Who made the motion?
I
Jim
did.
made
Will you
the
retract
motion,
it?
Robin
I'll
seconded.
do
Or
retract.
amend it?
Can Rob,
I'll amend it.
okay,
Okay.
Can I amend it?
yes.
Okay. Keely, amend it.
Why don't you just withdraw and let's start over?
Yeah, just withdraw it. I don't think I can amend yours. I think that you have to retract it and I make my own,
Okay.
or you amend your
I'll
own.
retract it.
Okay, I'll make a new
Motion has
motion.
been retracted. All right, go ahead.
To
New motion.
approve food and beverage tax, Fund 7201 as presented with the addition of $150,000 for 911 equipment. Is that a fair term?
Yeah. Who seconded it?
Second.
Now it's seconded.
Okay.
All right, I have a motion and a second for the 7201 as presented plus $150,000 for 911 equipment. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, next on the list is budget meeting update.
Oh, we didn't.
You didn't have one.
Have one.
Well, that's an
Didn't have
update,
one.
isn't it?
Very good.
Motion to approve.
Approve the minutes for June 10, 2026 is next.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented for June 10, 2026. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Auditor business.
Done.
None on the auditor business.
I move we adjourn.
Anybody have public comment sign into you? No? Nope. All right, now adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
A second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, we're adjourned.
Oh, yeah.